welcome StarCraft fans to the final Group D of the round of 20. Today is with me, Sean. How we doing, John?
I'm doing pretty good today, Raz. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Can't go any worse than yesterday for me, so we can only go up from there. So, looking for an exciting group today.
Yeah, Wolfix had pretty much the exact same result, so don't sweat it, man. We will have our bad days. You'll get back on the horse soon. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, thus is StarCraft. But in front of us today, we have an exciting Group D here. We're going to get a little bit of everything: PvZ, PvT, TvT, PvP. We're going to have all the matchups.
Yeah,
What a mix up here.
yeah, it's great to have all three. I love that. I mean, hopefully Izu can perform as well. I don't think Izu's on the same level as some of these guys. Got such a wealth of experience with MadiNho and TerrOr as well. Bonyth, obviously, a favorite to be probably first out of this group as well.
Yeah, I'd have to give obviously to Bonyth the edge of being #1. I think there's definitely going to be a battle for #2.
Yeah.
TerrOr, not sure how active he has been. We'll see what he pulls out, but he has a bag of tricks. He knows what he needs to do. He knows how to win games. But this format, always interesting, best of one, anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. In the round robin format, we probably have the hardest time of calculating who's actually going to be getting what position in the rankings. It's kind of hard to call. It's kind of a trial by fire for these guys. But TerrOr, I mean, he is a very cheesy player, and that ability to pull games out of a hat is very good for best of one. So I do think he might be challenging some of these other guys for the #2 spot, as long as he's been practicing, like you said.
Yeah, like I said, I think Bonyth obviously clearly PvP, PvT, PvZ doesn't matter the matchup. He is the clear favorite, but Doodle, very strong player, plays very standard, and that's actually going to be our first matchup, but plays very standard, very strong shuttle reaver style, defensive. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he does. I really think he has some potential to swing up and really get himself into the next round of 16.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been totally convinced by his PvP ability. I'm not sure if he can go toe to toe with someone like Bonyth, but it's best of one. Anything can happen. I'm really excited to see where these two guys stack up against one another. I believe both players are about to be ready. I think the game map is going to be Polestar. I honestly don't think that Doodle necessarily will beat Bonyth here, but best of one, anything can happen. So let's get right into it, guys. Game #1 between Bonyth and Doodle on Polestar. Let's get it.
All right, and spawning in the top right, it is Mr. Doodle squared.
And in the bottom right, as the red Protoss, is Bonyth. I do think this guy is very favorited to go out this group first. I think this is going to be a big tempo setter for either player here. If Doodle somehow makes an upset and gets a win over Bonyth, could be a real big upset for the group.
Absolutely, but like I said, Doodle, very strong, very, very strong PvP. Very good at, reverse shuttle play, just getting them in good spots, defending with them. So it'll be interesting to see how he does here. I do think he has some potential. Like I said, very strong standard player, hits his build, knows what he needs to do. So
Yeah.
I think he can get it done. To me, John, what's funny is that every map was like Polestar almost yesterday. Today we're starting with a Polestar. It seems the bans are leading us to a very neutral map like Polestar every time.
I mean, it is a pretty good macro map. I'm not complaining. I like it. The third gas is really easy to take for these Terran players as well. So I imagine a lot of players are going to be pretty comfortable playing here.
Yeah, it's a very, very standard map. Very simple here. We see Bonyth going with an early scout, and he is going to scout Doodle first. Doodle just very later scout, helps you, maximize your minerals a little bit early. And there are player cams of our two players up and ready to go. Bonyth getting in here, seeing what's going on. Doodle going the correct way.
I mean, this is not a big deal for Doodle. He will be scouting in the correct direction eventually anyway, so not really too much of an information advantage for Bonyth going forward. it's nice to kind of min-max your build based on what you scout early, but I think at this point in the game, it's not too big of a factor.
No, he got there before this. If he would have last scouted, he wouldn't have gotten in.
Right.
But he's able to get in there with it not being the last scout, so works out for him.
Yeah, a little bit of progress coming down from either side. Seems like both players are mining gas with 3, I believe, so I doubt this is going to be anything too crazy from either side. I imagine we're going to be seeing both players start their range very soon. I guess it's possible they could fake taking their range and then try and kick the scout out and throw down a citadel. Is possible, but not necessarily likely in this matchup.
Yeah, I feel like neither of these players are really DT fans. They're more want to play with their Reavers. They both have very good Reaver control, so
right.
I think that's where they're going to kind of put themselves at. You know, Bonyth just wanting to probably play standard, get into it. Why make anything risky? It looks like Bonyth skipped the Zealot here, though, so he will be a probe up and going right into that 23-second gateway. So he'll want to put on some early pressure with the 4-goon timing. Oh, he's moving shots. Oh my goodness.
You might get
wants that probe. He wants that probe.
He gets it.
Oh, first blood for Bonyth here, taking down a probe. So not only is he up a probe from his scouting one, but he'll be up one from going no Zealot. So he's up 2 probes right now already.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that he was able to skip over that Zealot and get a very fast second gateway, like you say, there's a lot of damage potential that could come out of him with this follow-up pressure. And that will kind of limit Doodle's options as well. Like Doodle, for example, will not feel as comfortable taking an Nexus for quite some time, I imagine, once he realizes just how much unit production is going to be coming out of Bonyth early. I mean, he could probably still go 1-gate Robo into Nexus. It's just too risky. I think I like this play from Doodle better. Just get the second gateway a little bit later.
Yeah, this is totally fine, totally standard. Bonyth will have a little bit of an early edge. I would imagine that with the 2 probe losses, they're probably very close to even on probes at this point as well. So totally fine here from Doodle. Very standard PvP stuff coming out right now, you know? Nothing wild.
Yes, very standard. I guess there could be some crazy deviations, but I doubt it. From what they've both done so far, seems like they're more or less doing the exact same thing, just a slightly different path of optimizations in terms of having to be able to skip over that Zealot, get the faster gateway count. So the one deviation is that these goons will be able to put a lot of pressure onto Doodle initially. Probably won't be able to do too much besides just maybe a bit of a soft contain or try and catch Doodle out of position if he was to be super aggressive for no reason. Seems like Doodle is smartly just going to stay at the top of his ramp, and Bonyth might be doing a bit of a contain, but mainly just checking to see that there's no greedy Nexus being placed.
Yeah, he's just going in there, going to check in. Doesn't need to get crazy from here, knows that he's fine. He'll be able to just put down his Nexus first if he wants to be able to go with just an Observer or the Robo, whatever he wants. Right now, obviously, he's going 2-gate Observer, get a nice scout on Doodle, but very standard for both players. Nothing crazy, no one trying to do anything wild.
Yeah. Seems like they're both really confident in their straight-up fundamental style, like you were talking about earlier. And if there's no real need to mix it up and pull out anything fancy when you're confident in your own ability just to play a nice, strong macro game and try and out-control your opponent. One advantage for Bonyth is he'll be able to more safely take this Nexus. It'll be some time until Doodle can confirm with his Observer exactly what's going on. Actually catches his Observer. I think he just killed... Yeah, he killed the Observer of Doodle. That's a big win for Bonyth going forward.
Yeah, absolutely massive win. Going to be able to get the full scout here now, be able to watch what units go in and out. Bonyth going to be feeling good that his Nexus is already 2/3 the way done compared to Doodle's just starting. Going to just move into Reavers from here, where Doodle may have to remake an Observer. But Bonyth just playing standard, straightforward, and it feels like he's getting it done already.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's going to be a long time coming since the second Observer's out from Doodle is going to be a little bit problematic, because that means that Bonyth can be sure about when to poke in with his Dragoons like this and maybe punish the positioning of Doodle's Dragoons if he's not careful. He knows just how deep he can go with these Dragoons before it becomes a little bit too deep. So seems like the advantage is going Bonyth's way initially. Eventually, he will be able to prioritize that production of the Robo back into making an Observer, but for the time being, it's a big information warfare advantage for Bonyth.
Yeah, and being able to get that observer and scout out allows you kind of just, where's the Reaver? Where's the shuttle? Do I got to move my goons around? What do I got to pull? So he's able just to kind of see what's going on. And in this matchup, you know, the Reaver shuttles, you know, that's really the deciding factor. So if you can keep track of what's going on, that's a big positive.
Yeah, now we see the move out from Doodle. It looks like he wants to just challenge Bonyth out in the open. He knows it's very unlikely that Bonyth's Reaver will be out here in position to defend against this right now. So he's taking a good opportunity to kick Bonyth away from his rally point. Still currently even in Dragoons right now, but Bonyth's got this expansion mining just a little bit earlier. So I imagine Bonyth is going to be comfortable just to sit back home in macro and just scout and poke in a little bit with these Dragoons here, but not necessarily need to challenge Doodle too directly.
Yeah, we saw there they traded Goon out, Bonyth ended up picking up a Zealot as well. So small little trades, right? Like, and that's where Bonyth starts to gain those massive advantages. He catches you in these small micro battles, and he always comes out the victor, which then snowballs to later. Not that that was a major win, but it was a win.
Yeah, I mean, that's what StarCraft is essentially, right, Raz? Like, you take these tiny little advantages and you try and snowball it into a bigger and bigger lead as the time and game ticks by. Seems like finally Doodle got his own observer out now. So we'll be able to kind of bully back some of these observers of Bonyth to kind of obfuscate where exactly his units are located on the map. It's very unlikely you'd try and be super greedy right now and go for a Reaver harass until the shuttle speed's done, but it seems like Doodle wants to keep all of his army together and try and break out up onto this high ground position. Bonyth is now starting to leverage the majority of his forces up here, though. He's expecting Doodle to come down here. He's got 2 Reavers of his own to challenge this. Does some good connections with his own Scarabs as well.
Good shot there from Bonyth. Ooh, Doodle getting his own couple good shots as well. Has to be careful. That is a speed shuttle from Doodle, so he'll be able to pick up those Reavers a little bit more effectively and put them down where he needs them. Right now, Doodle definitely not advised to go up this ramp.
Do you think that Doodle's got 3 pylons in his natural like that to prevent him being able to land the Reavers in those positions?
Yeah, that's what they're there for. Those 3 pylons in his nat are there so that you can't drop the Reaver where it gets put into the mineral line if needed.
Right.
Bonyth creeping up here. Oh, Bonyth lost, I think, both Reavers.
He did. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
that was 2
goodness.
for 1. Wow.
Huge result there for Doodle. And he has another one ready to go. Oh, one gets picked off. Bonyth running back. But massively good trade there for Doodle to get both Reavers. Oh, doesn't like that Dragoon. He said, get out of the game. Hate you.
Yeah, it smelled a bit funny. Wanted to get rid of it. It was making the other Dragoons lose some style points. Now he's going to be surging back onto the high ground, knowing that he's got a bit of a tempo swing, artillery advantage with this Reaver still in tow in that shuttle. Bonyth has to pull back, and he's losing a Dragoon on the exit as well. So Bonyth's suddenly in a little bit of trouble against Doodle in this game, even though there's a Dragoon that's probably going to be a sacrificial lamb.
He's a hero. He's a Phoenix. He's got this.
He's going to make it out.
But Doodle's got to feel good about that first win. And if you notice, Bonyth was up about like 8, 9, 10 supply. Right. Now it's dead even after that. And Doodle just kind of positioning defensively. I'm interested to see if Doodle already has the Reaver Scarab damage because he got speed on the shuttle so quickly.
Yeah.
So he may have a window here where he can get that damage, that plus 25 damage in a fight before Bonyth does. Nope, not yet.
It's such a good upgrade. Back in the day, people used to think it was a terrible upgrade and almost no one went for it, but very quickly everyone figured out just how good it was. Look at this engagement, though. That's a massive arc, though. Look at the arc that Bonyth has on Doodle right now. Doodle has to retreat, and then these Reaver Scarabs take 4 seconds to dud out, so you can't even stop moving while they're kind of en route to your own Dragoon. So now he's isolated the army. He's driven a wedge between the natural and this army out to the west, so Bonyth can put a lot of pressure on now.
Oh, 3rd Reaver down here for Doodle. So, oh! Those Reavers take another hit. And this is where Doodle's really good, though. He is very good at defending, using his Reavers, making sure it's very difficult to attack in. He's got 4 Reavers now. I wonder if we're going to see double robo. That's becoming more and more standard now, where you go 5, 6 gateways in a double robo. There it is already.
There it is.
And you just play such heavy Reaver style. Bonyth does not have that, just playing 1 robo.
Look
Uh-oh,
at
this
Doodle.
poor
He still has his
Dragoon.
army out on the map. He might be trying to set up for a pincer or a flank later on, but for the time being, there's a pretty sizable force here from Bonyth. He's still trying to push the issue and get some good connections with these Scarabs over and over again,
really good
taking
micro.
lots of great Scarab connections. Look at how many Dragoons are dying right now. I mean, right now, Bonyth is just completely outmaneuvering Doodle, but Doodle does have the advantage of having many more Reavers. There's like 4 Reavers here for Doodle to only 2 of Bonyth. If these Dragoons can find a good flank, he should be able to get out of this.
The problem is now is controlling these Reavers, right? Like, how do you
Right.
control 4 Reavers right here like that?
Ooh.
It's very hard. Oh, he gets one down himself, though. Well done there from Doodle. But it is very difficult to control 4 or 5 Reavers.
Yeah.
Like, to pick them up and drop them. So, Bonyth is only focusing on 1 shuttle and... Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
goodness. Oh, he is so lucky.
That was so lucky. He didn't lose that for free there. Some beautiful connections on these Dragoons regardless. Now Doodle has to be careful not to lose these Dragoons for free. They are kind of isolated around the map from the rest of his force. They have got enough room to run to safety in the bottom left corner. Yeah, Bonyth can't afford to chase them down indefinitely. It would expose himself to a move out from Doodle. And look at Doodle taking his 3rd Nexus, pretty greedy at 12 o'clock right now. Takes a tiny little bit of an inch away from Bonyth's positioning and tries to seize a mile in the process. And this could pay off for him if Bonyth doesn't figure it out.
Well, Bonyth's positioning on a really good angle here. Oh my goodness. 2 more Dragoons down. Let's see how these Reavers do. Oh my goodness.
Man,
no Reaver damage for Doodle, but Bonyth has it, and that's why these are just doing just 2-shotting these Dragoons at this point. Doodle looking a little frustrated, going for the shot. Oh, he gets it. That's massive, Sean.
That's a big deal. Now he's kind of dead in the water. These Reavers just slugging it out quite literally. Doodle with his own shuttles in tow can maybe pounce on these. He might try and seize the opportunity to. Bonyth does have a lot of Dragoons to try and stop this from occurring. He needs to retreat to the high ground. Beautiful connections. Doodle still losing a lot of Dragoons by the wayside despite the lack of mobility for these Reavers right now.
Bonyth's taking his 3rd base now too, but this Bonyth sees the 3rd base. Sean, he just sees it with the observer. He knows what's going on now. He has 2 more Reavers up here, looking to fire and get a shot off on these 3. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, not
no
like
Doodle,
this.
not like this.
Not like this. Okay. My heart, man, can't take it. These Dragoons can try and poke into the rally. Maybe they can pounce on this Reaver. It hasn't yet built any Scarabs, but I don't think Doodle realizes quick enough. I think he'll just barely get a Scarab or 2 off in time and try and defend that Reaver. It might still go down, but now the Reaver's coming in for Doodle. There's so many probes. I mean, Bonyth kind of has to go now, doesn't he? He kind of has to force the issue and start trading with Doodle right now. He's got the superior army. The Reavers are on the other side of the map for Doodle. He has to go and start trading with Doodle right here, right now, and try and close the game out.
Oh my god, massive shot from Bonyth. But the shuttle's down, so the Reavers won't be able to be microed anymore. Oh my god, he kills another one with no shuttle. Oh, that one with the 2 Reavers gets sniped.
This is crazy, man. He's got on top of the Reaver in the main base as well. This is absolute insanity. He has breached the natural expansion, takes down the shuttle as well. This expansion is completely explosive. Only Bonyth can get these 12 or 10 Dragoons from the 3rd base to get in here. Doodle has to tap out. GG is called. Bonyth just out trading Doodle with those Reaver Scarabs, Raz, despite the double robo.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the whole multi-Reaver, like 4 of them, 6 of them, start to fall apart because they're so hard to micro. Like when they're clumped up, 3, 4 of them, even against 2, you're getting so many shots off. But how do you pick up 6 Reavers at once?
Right.
Like
Yeah, even a pro game is struggling with that, right? It's not easy.
Yeah. I don't even know if Snow himself can do that, where he's picking up 6, dropping 6, firing 6 Scarabs and re-putting. So, but impressive showing from Doodle. Like he triggered Bonyth there. He had to go once he killed the entire pro line at the natural. If he just could have held, he probably would have taken that game. But Bonyth showing why he is one of the best of all time outside the Korea and taking game number 1, right? Always with poise, always getting it done.
That's really impressive from him. And he probably plays, relative to how good he is, he plays one of the least amount out of all of these other guys. He plays a lot, don't get me wrong, but compared to someone like DeWalt, he hardly plays at all.
Yeah, but his micro just crazy. It's nuts what we just saw him do there. So he will take the first match of this entire group. And next up on his chopping block is Izu. So we're going to be shifting into a PVZ here.
Nice.
Bonyth. Oh, there we go. Bonyth, very good PVZ. Loves the gateway opener. Loves the micro interactions. So
Yeah,
he will definitely be opening with that.
he's Poland's sweetheart, man. I'm sure pretty much everyone in the chat loves this guy and have seen him play so many games now. It's kind of hard not to be impressed with his ability. Someone like Izu, I mean, he's a very strong Czechoslovakian player. I just don't know he's going to be able to stand up to the mighty Bonyth here. It's going to be a real tough game for him, I imagine. He's got a pretty okay record. I mean, 50% at a competitive level is, pretty solid in all walks of life. But I mean, Bonyth is just super impressive in this event. You don't usually see him have too much of an issue taking down someone of Izu's caliber. So yeah, my money is definitely going to be on Bonyth, like stomping the majority of these guys. And the fact that he gets to play 4 people in a row, I think that that's going to be a great affinity for him. Once he gets into his ebb and flow and gets his mojo fully online, it's going to be very hard to disrupt him.
Yeah, I think there's like the positive and negatives of the setup, right? Of how you'd like to do it. Do you want to play all 4 in a row? Do you want to spread them out so you can take breaks in between?
Right.
But I think for us,
Guys, we are having some technical difficulties. I can't hear the casters. I hope you can hear me. I hope it's Discord and I will restart it. Maybe I will switch the audio source. Can you guys hear me now? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, can you guys hear me? Wait. What about now?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, guys, we have casters back, so I'm giving you back to the professionals.
Hey
All right,
guys.
we're back. We're back.
What's up, everybody? Sorry about the technical difficulties. It is what it is. Sometimes it happens to the best of us. We're going to be jumping into our next game here in a few beats, but that was a crazy game number 1. I love it when Protoss versus Protoss games are that intense. I don't like it when both players are just sitting back and macroing up and too scared to move out or expand. I love it when one player is playing the role of aggressor and one player is playing the role of defender.
Yeah, it's funny, right? It's Bonyth's style to be aggressive and micro and fight, and it was Doodle's for to sit, and we see that he was able to break them. So he
Yeah.
gets the job done.
Okay, looks like both players are ready. So we'll be jumping into our next game here. Bonyth versus Izu on Radion. Let's get it, guys.
All right, and spawning in the top right corner already with the win. You already know, Bonyth.
His opponent down in the bottom right is the blue Zerg. It's Izu.
All right, we'll see what these guys have to offer. What is Izu gonna pull out? Anything tricky versus Bonyth, or is he just gonna play a standard game and try to get him?
I think if it was horizontal spawns, he might consider some things like if Bonyth was in the bottom left, like something like Ogre Zerg, where you're making a lot of mutas and Scourge early on. It's actually quite strong with how short the distance is to get in there with your Mutalisks. But with these spawns vertical, I think that's a lot less likely. It's not cross map though, so you could still go for something like a 973, although you don't feel that comfortable as Zerg, right? Because your natural third is towards the Protoss player. So you either want to play hyper aggressive and defend by attacking and like set up like a fake Hydro Bust into transition, or you can try and take the 6 o'clock and play a more macro game. But either way, you don't feel super comfortable here.
Yeah, and we see Bonyth opening with his typical gate first. Gonna high pressure with Zealots, at least get one out there. You know, he's brave. He'll fight with the probe and the Zealot versus many Zerglings. He doesn't care. Izu playing with an overpool, so gonna have some early lings out here. So we're definitely gonna see some of those micro interactions right away.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I always love the overpool relative to like 11 hatch or something. I just think it's the better build order. It's pretty much safe against everything. And I think if you're confident in your ability, this is the build order you should be going for. I don't think you need to take any economic risks against Protoss unless you feel like the extra drone is going to be the thing that makes the difference against someone that's just a powerhouse macro player.
We'll see. The only disadvantage to this is a lot of Zealots early can cause you to continue to make Zerglings, which you don't have larva for drones. So, but we'll see what happens here.
Ooh, be careful.
Oh, two high fives already from. Oh, we only made 4 links. That might trigger Bond to get down there right away.
Yeah, I doubt he'll want to push out with this initial Zealot. If it was just 2 Zerglings, then yeah, sure, we could maybe come out with this Zealot. But making 4 without drone scouting, I think you're pretty happy about this. As Izu, you're not really worried about that initial Zealot. I like this style from Zergs where they just, delay making an early scout, and to make up for that and compensate, they make 4 lings right off the bat just to be super safe against that possible Zealot first.
Yeah, Izu blocking. Bonyth doing the same, has the probe a little bit back. Izu going for this.
Ooh, that's pretty good surround.
A little misstep there, not be able to get a third shot on that Zergling, but he's fine. He's got the 3 Zealots, he's blocked. Bonyth not worried, going gas before Forge, which can be standard here. Core gas against the overpool, you're not worried. You don't need a ton of cannons, so
right.
we're probably gonna see a core here as well. Oh wow, went Forge there. I'm surprised.
I mean, he can still just, get the core belatedly and have a pretty nice gas advantage. So if he wants to get +1 and the very fast set, he could do so. Probe gets into the main base, which is absolutely insane. Did not expect that to happen as well. He's going to obfuscate by making the lair in his natural, so he doesn't know whether or not it's speed or lair first still, but still not getting this probe, man. This is crazy.
Oh, the drone. It could do it. Nope, can't do it.
It's unfortunate, man.
I was just surprised that he went the Forge in the front. We've seen so many even at the pro level where everyone's keeping the Forge in the main now so that you're not losing the +1 timing, +1 armor timings. And versus Overpool, many times you're very safe, so you can skip it and go right into a faster Sarah. But I don't blame Bonyth. Sometimes you feel like, hey, you know what? When I feel like I'm the stronger player, why am I going to take any risk whatsoever? Just play it standard, hit your build, do what you got to do, and then go forward from there.
Yeah, I think there's like two ways of thinking in StarCraft in general. Like when you're playing against an opponent you think you should beat, either you do absolute crazy shenanigans because you know you don't need to play straight up to beat them, or you just play your usual go-to build that you know you'd probably be smashing them a lot harder than your usual practice partners.
Yeah, and I think he's just okay with playing in there. Oh my goodness, he's about to get back in.
No way, no way.
Oh my
There's no way that probe
no.
just got in there. You kidding me? Man, this is crazy. How does he do it?
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's finally going to die, but the information it's gotten was just so valuable. It's crazy. And
yeah,
he sees that Izu is making more links, so it's not going to trigger him to send his 3-4 zealots across the map. He's just going to stay home.
Yeah. Can we just explain to the viewers quickly just how good information is in this matchup? Like the one thing that Protoss doesn't have is information, right? But if you do have scouting information, you can min-max your heart's content. Oh, pretty good surround on the Zealot. But as I was saying, yeah, if you've got any kind of scouting information as Protoss, you can really min-max your heart's content and turn this from a Zerg favored matchup into either a 50-50 or a bit more of a Protoss favored if you've got complete perfect information.
Yeah, that is, you nailed it. This matchup is so hard at times because you're playing many of the times blind for long stretches, and Zerg can use so many different openers. So to have all that happen, to know you're safe, to know you can hit your build, to know he doesn't need to add cannons in the front for Hydra, you know, he's gonna get an Overlord here, and he's feeling pretty good about all this.
Yeah, I mean, this has gone almost perfectly here for Bonyth. I mean, the Overlord is just the icing on the cake. I don't think he'll be supply blocked. He made one to replace it ahead of time, knowing that this would be an eventuality. If he loses the second one, though, that's going to be a little bit problematic. I mean, the Scourge is just about to pop in just a second, but I think he's going to get the second Overlord regardless. This is a pretty big deal.
Ooh, wow. Ooh, we do have Muta here from Izu.
Okay. I mean, he could get some probe kills, right? Like 5 Muta beat 2 Corsairs in the air. So if he's got no cannons protecting his mineral lines, these Mutas could be a little bit annoying for Bonyth if he's not quite set up with that 3rd Corsair. But in this case, the Stargate was early, the gas was early. He's got more than enough to get those 3 Corsairs out right off the bat. So I don't think these Mutas is going to do too much. Maybe kill 1 or 2 probes at the most.
I think if they come in here for the probes, they may die.
Maybe, yeah. If he chase micros them down, for sure. Oh no! Oh no!
We didn't get any probes. We didn't fire all at the same time, and now we are paying for it. The Sarah, like, you want to hit my probe friends? I got something for you. Oh,
yeah, at least one of them dying.
Goodness.
Man, I mean, I thought he was at least going to get 1 or 2 probes before that happened. That's really unfortunate. He didn't kill anything and lost a Muta for free. That's a pretty big gas deficit now that Izu has to make up. He's going to transition into a 6-hatch Hydra production capability. Hasn't yet taken his 3rd gas, so there's no indicator that he wants to commit into the air fleet just yet. We'll have to make a couple of sunkins for safety.
Man. Yeah, that's a killer there, Sean. We don't want to be making sunk-ins, right, for this move out. Like, that's going to kill our drone count. That's going to just hurt everything as we go forward. Like, Bonyth's going to be happy that he sees 2 sunk-ins already.
And he's on like 35 drones maximum. Like, there's hardly any drones back at home right now. Like, he needs to find some kind of opportunity to actually make drones, and he can't right now. He needs to make a few rounds of units just to make sure he doesn't die to this Zealot move out, and he's gonna lose some Overlords here potentially. There's only like 4 Hydras and a Sunken versus this many Zealots and some Sayers in the air. Like, I think like these Mutas are dying and some Overlords are dying.
We're gonna get the +1 Hydra attack, and we could just run away. Yep. Wow. Really well done there from Bonyth, delaying the upgrades, and in this matchup, upgrades are such a big deal. The breakpoints that happen between Zerg getting +1/+2 attack and Protoss getting +1/+2 armor are a massive deal. He snipes the Evolution Chamber, which will then further delay those upgrades, and Bonyth will just be carried on his way.
That's a nice condition from Bonyth, yeah, getting ahead on the upgrades. He's going to have a real hard time, Izu that is, in the later phases of the game, keeping up with the Protoss and making those trades. Reminds me of like...
There, Sean.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, he can't really afford to make any Scourge as well. Like, he has to primarily utilize Hydras to keep these Overlords alive. That's a big deal, because now the Hydras have to be pinned back into the main base, protecting them, and there's no pressure on Bonyth whatsoever.
Yeah, Bonyth has seen best play with no Sair, so he's making extras. He doesn't want to deal. He's like, I'm a BSU fan, man. We're going to go Sair, Zealot. We're not going to be doing any of this nonsense, Sairless.
I mean, it looks like there's a bit of confidence from Izu, though. Despite these Corsairs sharking around, he was thinking about moving out of his Hydras. But as we can see, the issue with that, he can't just leave these leave these Overlords dead in the water. Now he's going to pounce on them potentially. Does snipe down one of those Corsairs, but just the fact that he can shark around these and create an active threat out of these Corsairs means that Izu is kind of pinned back in his base, and he's still going to lose Overlords despite all these Hydras being here.
And Bonyth gets out just with another one in red. Doesn't even lose another one from the original, so that's really good from him. Supply blocking Izu pretty much, getting a lot of value, and now all of a sudden a lot of Zealots. Oh my goodness, they're trapping these Hydra.
Okay, Izu's bringing out some more Hydras out onto the map to fight against this. I mean, he technically does have enough units on the map to stop these Zealots. The problem is that they're pinned back at home defending the Overlords. Now, finally, we have Overlord speed, but is it going to be too little too late here for Izu? He's starting to target down these Zealots one at a time, trying to get the trades going in the middle. Does manage to kill the majority of those Zealots and force Bonyth back just as he's trying to take his third base. So maybe Izu can go a little bit on the counter-offensive, identify this third base, and shut it down right now. But if he doesn't even think about it, Bonyth might get away with murder, but he's sharking for it. He's going for it.
Is that a DT at 6 o'clock?
It might be. Oh, it is.
Oh,
it is.
No.
There's no Spore here as well. Usually in these situations, you'll make a Spore not to defend against the Corsairs because that's not good enough. Usually just to have backup detector against the DT possibility. In this case, Izu skipped over it, paid the price, lost a lot of mining time and a few drones. Crazy.
Yeah, Bonyth doing what he needs to do here, absolutely pulling him apart. Izu has all these Hydra and really can't pressure because he has to stay back, or else his Overlords, his drones, they're all in danger. We see Bonyth wasn't able to get that third base up like he wanted, but still has some time to get there. Oh, we have a shuttle here. What's going on? We're gonna maybe do a DT drop.
Maybe even a storm drop, I guess it's possible. I don't think he needs to do anything fancy like that right now, but he could definitely go for it. He's got 4 High Templars to storm down these Hydras. If there's some good storm dodging from Izu, there is a way of making this game work for him. Hasn't yet thrown down that 4th base. Look as he's having some trouble dealing with his Hydra control right now. Seems like he's more just wanting to run back away from having to task switch, defending against these Corsairs and microing against the Zealots ahead of himself. So it looks like Izu's trying to simplify the game, stay and get into a strong macro game, but he's not yet even thrown down this 4th base. I would have thought if he wants to play like this, he should be putting that hatchery already.
Yeah, 4th base is definitely late. Bonyth here, definitely a DT in there. Gonna put some pressure in the front and drop a DT at the same time. First storm goes down. Good dodging by Izu here, but the real damage is about to happen in a second.
Ooh,
oh no.
Yeah. Oh, this could be crazy.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez. That could be crazy. There's an Overlord, though, so you might see that. He will see a red dot on the mini-map. He does notice it. Okay, so you might lose 1 or 2 drones here. That's not too bad. He can still stabilize against this. He's still shutting down the possibility of Bonyth taking a 3rd base at least, but hasn't yet got his own 4th base online, so still quite even in terms of economy. But Bonyth definitely has a massive tech advantage right now and an upgrade advantage. Look at that storm, that's crazy. Izu is in a world of hurt now. Bonyth can start to ram it down to the natural expansion. There are a few lurkers finishing up, but with 2 observers here, it's going to be hard to shoot both of those down and prevent a potential win condition being established by Bonyth right here and right now.
Yeah, Izu going to the 3rd, like, I'll deny his 3rd and defend. There is no 3rd. He's just coming to kill you, Izu.
Yeah.
So be prepared. Gonna have to run those Hydras home.
I mean, it's like the Burning Crusade expansion on World of Warcraft. He is not prepared right now at all, Raz. He's in a lot of trouble, blanketing Storm behind his army to protect the wake of it from those Hydras, getting a flank going. GG is called, and Bonyth with 2 wins on the board in such quick succession.
Yeah, Bonyth just playing that one to perfection, right? Just using the Sair, popping Overlord, sneaking DTs in, macroing behind it. Izu did a good job, but Bonyth was just a little bit too much. I mean, Izu, an incredible reaction for the drones in the main. Barely lost any, but Bonyth's army was just too large at that point.
Yeah, I think Bonyth just completely outplayed him in that game. He had a hard time dealing with the Corsair harassment. Going pure Hydra against that just doesn't feel good as Zerg. The only way you can play like that is if you kind of migrate your entire Overlords with your army as you're moving out. But then you need to have a Spore back at home or something to have a bit of guaranteed detection against the DT play. And he had neither of those things happening.
Yeah, Bonyth just being Bonyth, man, doing what he has to do, winning all those little interactions and situations. It takes another game. So now he's up 2-0 in the group. He's won both games. And we're going to be switching matchups again, Joe. We're going to be going into some PvT now against Mr. MadiNho.
Hey, variety is the spice of life, Raz. I'm all about it, man. And I really like MadiNho. I like all these guys. I don't really know Izu too well, but I definitely really like MadiNho. I think he's a cool guy. So I'm interested to see if he can utilize his experience to pull one over and get some kind of advantage against Bonyth in this game. But it seems like Bonyth is on an absolute rampage. I wouldn't necessarily be so surprised if he just 4-0s everyone right now.
Yeah, he's looking comfortable, really playing well, and we're going into his best matchup. I would say PvT. He absolutely crushes these TerrOr with the Reavers. They can never really push out, so I think it'll be interesting to see what he does. Is he going to play the Reaver into carriers? Will we see his old style of Sarah into D-Web? We don't see that as much, but I'm excited to see what he pulls out.
Yeah, in some ways, Bonyth is like the Polish snow in terms of how he utilizes his finesse of that Reaver shuttle control ability. Although he is quite a potent macro player behind it as well. I like his understanding of the fundamentals. Like, you'll sometimes see him with like loads of idle probes at his Nexus, but that's the good thing. You just don't want to waste production time. As long as you're building the probes during that time, that's fine. You can go back and tell them to mine later on.
Absolutely. And funny enough, John, it seems like our map is Polestar again. A lot of Polestar
Say it ain't so, Raz.
going on here. So PvT on Polestar. I mean, I think it's a good map. I think maybe a little bit times tough for Terran to push out to get that third, but once they get it, it's very secure. So we'll see if MadiNho can get through those Reavers to get to where he needs to go to get a third base.
I mean, you can go 5 factory right off the bat and try and push through the attempts of sandbagging the Terran player right away. I mean, we see Terrans, start to adopt that style a lot these days, having that extra unit production so they can either get out onto the map just to take their third base or to, kind of do some kind of timing to put pressure on the Protoss. Might be an idea for MadiNho to go for something that's a bit more Mihu-esque in style and prioritizes unit production rather than just sitting back and teching up.
Yeah, one thing MadiNho does really well is he is good at like harassing while moving and pushing. So like he utilizes the drop ships. He really makes it difficult. He does some interesting drops with tanks and vultures. We saw that in the last group stage from him. So maybe he can pull Bonyth apart a little bit and try to find a way to secure this game.
Well, I think that's the skill set that comes from his affinity with 2v2, right? That ability to kind of keep track on like multiple fronts, and there's a lot going on at the same time, but his brain can kind of keep up with that. I think that's what makes him such a good 2v2 player. And so when it's a 1v1, there's less to keep track of. I think he's really good at pulling players apart with his style.
Yeah, and he's very okay playing the late game. He doesn't mind, dragging some stuff out. He's another person who's very good at making sure he hits his build, hits his worker counts, really has strong pushes. I think we saw him, like I said, in the last stage, pull some games out. He was ahead, he was behind. He made some great tactical moves. So I'm excited to see what he does. And there he is, Mr. Bacardi himself. He's just a potato, Sean. He's just a
potato, but we're jumping straight at. Can the potato beat the Bonyth? We're going to find out MadiNho versus Bonyth on Polestar. Let's get it.
All right, spawning in the bottom left, a couple Bacardis in. It is MadiNho.
Rocking that hat, looking pretty dapper at the same time. And his opponent across from him in the top left is Bonyth, currently on the warpath with 2 games already on the board. Can he go for the trifecta?
Well, yeah, last time MadiNho had an outfit change in between all of his matches. We'll see if he does the same, or maybe it's just going to be a hat change today. We don't know.
Always shifting him. Oh, he's getting shifted around though. Zero's just centering him up there, making sure he, is kind of adjusting his collar, making sure he's as sharp as he can be for this game.
Bacardi better send that man a sponsorship. Better pay him some money.
Maybe that's what he's hoping for. He's like, if I get televised enough, eventually they might be send me a crate of those bottles.
Yeah, he doesn't even want the money. He's like, just send me the alcohol.
I mean, it's technically money if you drink it often, right? You're saving yourself a fortune if you're not having to buy those spirits.
That's right. I can appreciate that, Mr. MadiNho. I appreciate that. Oh, look at them. There they are. Bonyth.
Handsome nerds, man.
Bonyth looking like he just, you know, played a quick soccer game. Sweatshirt, a little tired. MadiNho looked like he just exactly what he's doing. Been drinking, hanging out, nice little hat on.
Looks like he got done riding a bull or something, and he's ready to try and tackle this slightly larger beast that is Bonyth.
I hope one day I can meet Mr. MadiNho at a LAN. I'm sure we'd have a good time.
He seems like a really chill guy, honestly. Like, every time I talk to him, he seems really chill. Like, yeah, I would love to be able to go over to Poland or something and meet him on one of these lands and hang out a bit.
That would be a good time. Oh, here comes the harass. Look at this probe harassment. Oh my goodness, he just hits it max range every time he needs to repair. He's going to delay this. Oh my goodness. And this is the stuff right here that it doesn't look crazy, but the fact that he's able to do it, you know, MadiNho had like 4 workers on gas. Now he has 2. Like, you know, it just kind of pulls you apart a little bit, right? You're focusing your APM and your attention in different places.
Well, look at the timer right now. It's 2 minutes 40. We still don't have a factory. Like, the usual timing off the 12 gas is 2:29. Look at the factory timing. It's 2:45, Raz.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the Zealot's coming down now, so with the delay, you know, he might be able to snipe an SCV on the factory. I mean, pull the Zealot back. I mean, Marine, no, Zealot's in. Here we go.
Oh no. Oh no, this is gonna escalate. He wasn't even making a second marine, I don't think. He's in trouble. Okay, he has got the second marine actually. So there is a way of making this work, but he has to utilize an SCV. Oh no, this marine's gonna die to the particle beam.
The probe. Strong, man.
Strong
Good
unit.
Good unit.
Good unit.
I wish I could use them that good. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's hard to do your macro beats back at home while doing that kind of fancy shenanigans, but the best of them can pull it off and make it look easy while doing so. Like a jazz musician, can he get the SCV? Not quite. Definitely more of a flash SCV, and hopefully he can stabilize the position now. There should be anything coming his way, and there isn't. It wasn't like that was like a triple Zealot Dragoon play from Bonyth to really put the hurt on, so he will be able to stabilize now.
Yeah, but look how far ahead this Nexus is compared to this command center. I mean, pretty much done. I mean, Bonyth executing his game plan to perfection. He's going to be able to get that natural going, really amp up into this early to mid game.
I was just surprised that there wasn't more damage done from Bonyth. I thought he was going to really escalate that and either kill more Marines or at least kill the SCV building the factory. Seems like MadiNho kind of getting away with murder a little bit. He's going to poke in there, just pay the price of a few shield hit points to just confirm that CC is actually being built and this isn't something crazy from MadiNho.
Yeah, Bonyth going super standard, man. You know what he wants. He wants that Robo. He wants those Observers. He wants that Reaver.
Look at this, Raz. This Vulture's going to get a lot of damage. He's busy chasing the SCV scout. Bit of a little bit of a overextension there to chase down the SCV into the main base by Bonyth. He's paying the price. Does manage to stop that Vulture getting into the main base, but that's a lot of probe damage for that first initial Vulture. Sometimes I would say it's a bad idea to waste that first Vulture going in to do damage. If you do lose it, you can't get mines down at the third base. But in this situation, killing that many probes, losing that much mining time for the pros, that Vulture was definitely worth it, right?
Oh, 100%. 3 probes, definitely a big deal. Totally stop mining altogether. So really well done there for MadiNho to pull Bonyth's attention. He killed the scouting SCV and then to sneak the Vulture in. And it looks like MadiNho may go for some type of 2-fact timing push here.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's done a lot of damage already to Bonyth, so Bonyth will have a hard time churning out non-stop Dragoon production while still getting his tech online. So there's definitely a possibility here that something could be done about this. And I mean, the 4th Dragoon will take a long time before it gets down here, so he could even maybe poke out with these 2 tanks and start to challenge this now.
Yeah, wasting out the shields of 1 Dragoon, they'll regen a bit, but we see the Marine production, which tells me one thing and one thing only: we are going to be pushing across the map.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't make any additional Marines unless you intend to be aggressive, right? You want them to be able to soak up just a few extra phase disruption shots for your Terran metal to do its thing. Here comes the 3-tank push from MadiNho, trying to put a lot of pressure and hurt on. There's only about 5 Dragoons total for Bonyth to hold off against this. And we have a few SCVs pulled to repair and potentially make turrets later on as well. This is a big threat that he has to respect. Look how much damage!
Wow.
Oh,
and he blocked
that
it. He
block!
blocked the Dragoon.
That's insane! That's absolutely crazy, Raz. I mean, he might be able to steamroll Bonyth if Bonyth isn't really perfectly pulling his probes and dealing with this. I don't know how he's going to hold this.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge now for Bonyth. I mean, we have 3 tanks and these Marines. The Vultures helping make sure that the tanks aren't targeted. We get another Dragoon down. This is getting ugly, Sean.
Yeah, it's
Bonyth
really ugly.
in some trouble here. MadiNho getting a whole bunch of kills. That Dragoon about to go down.
He's putting turrets, man. He's putting a clock on Bonyth to have to respond to this. He can't just sit back and chill. Eventually, siege mode will be finished. The turrets will be finished. Then you can't even just get in here with a shuttle. Oh, no. That supply block is actually a really big deal. That's crazy, Raz. Like, Bonyth is in so much trouble right now.
I think we're waiting for siege here, and then we're just going to try to totally up. And siege is up. The Reaper may be coming. Oh, my goodness. We can range the Nexus. We can't really hit the probes. Bonyth is going to try to snipe this SCV that's making the bunker. Is MadiNho going to be able to pull up a big win here against Bonyth? MadiNho making a ton of turrets at home, knowing a Reaper's coming. He should be able to take out this Nexus here.
He's got 2 turrets already set up with the bunker, so I mean, this Nexus might not be long for this world. He can't really utilize this shuttle to deal with this. He can maybe drop to the south here and try and get some Zealots on top of these siege tanks and hopefully get
God,
that's a pretty big connection. That's amazing. Can he get this tank? He just needs to bait one more shot and then get on top of this tank with the Scarab. He does lose the Reaper, though. He doesn't get it. Okay, I think the Nexus still dies. I think the Nexus still dies, Raz. That was a really good attempt from Bonyth, but it wasn't quite good enough.
No, MadiNho taking out that Reaver. Bonyth murmuring to himself. He knows his fate now here, Sean. He is definitely, I don't know what he said in Polish, but it probably wasn't a good word. Probably something we shouldn't repeat.
Definitely lots of bad words said by our Polski guy over here. Oh my
goodness, Bonyth can't believe it himself.
This is crazy. And he's got turrets back at home. He's got turrets back at home. He might fly over the turrets if he's not careful.
He's in panic mode. Bonyth in panic mode. We don't see this often from him. Oh my goodness! Of course he finds the one spot. He drops on the tank, but the shuttle's taking. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. It's not taking damage from the Marine. Reaper's here with this Dragoon. He needs to do like an insane amount of damage here, though, Sean.
Like 12 SCVs.
Oh my goodness! Oh, the Goon goes down. Reaper's still there, right by that other mine. Oh, he picks up in time.
He needs to kill so many SCVs to make up this deficit, though. He has killed a lot of the units, so he's going to deny mining in this natural expansion. He can start killing off these turrets as well to clear a path of exit for the shuttle so it can still maneuver around safely. But this is still a crazy hurdle to overcome. He's killing some of the units of MadiNho, but all MadiNho has to do is just survive and not lose anything. Trying to mind drag.
Picked it up after.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Bonyth going insane micro. I mean, just no way, man, right? There's just no way.
Oh my gosh. Can he do it? Can he go snow mode right now?
Game out just with the Reaver alone.
The SCV! He gets the Reaver! The fusion cutter cuts through the Reaver! Bonyth doesn't expect the worker unit to finish him off. He was busy macroing back at home for just a few beats, and that was all it took for this mad lad MadiNho to go DDR on his ass and dance on the corpse of that mechanical unit.
Unbelievable. Here we go. He's going to try to bust out of here. Big Scarab on that tank. Gonna be able to clear this, it seems like. All right, so Bonyth does break the contain, but look at the unit count, Sean. It is a massive difference here for MadiNho and Bonyth. Bonyth probably needs a double expo and hold on.
Yeah, double expansion and just hope to God that these Goliaths can't snipe his shuttles when he decides to finally push, which is probably going to happen either way. I don't know how Bonyth is going to pull this game out of the bag. The supply count should be reversed in this current time of the game, but as it stands, like, MadiNho is in such a commanding position. He doesn't necessarily even need to attack as well. He just needs to identify when the Protoss player is taking this third base, and if he sees no third Nexus...
Oh my god, this shuttle's going to go down?
Oh, it's already got 40
he
HP.
just gets out. Wow,
man, he's lucky that
must be the upgrade for
yes, it is.
the Alliance. So
I was about to say he's lucky that the Karen boosters aren't finished right now.
Oh, big mind connection.
This is a wild game, man. I did not expect this kind of game, but it seems like, yeah, MadiNho getting the better of Bonyth's usually superior micro in this early phase of the game. Now we're shifting into the mid game, and MadiNho is already playing with a very potent production capability, whereas Bonyth is on catch up, still playing with like early game tech and economy to boost. And he's going to be able to double expand now, but I mean, I don't think this is going to be quick enough. Like, MadiNho can go full steam ahead, take a third base himself and just sit back, or he could go for a massive 2-base timing attack and try and bowl him over with like 7 factories over production or something.
Yeah, we see him on 5 already, so I'm surprised he hasn't thrown down a 6th and a 7th there, so that he could just kind of run him over, because he knows how bad his eco's hurting.
Right. There's no way that Bonyth would be able to keep up with like a massive Chewbacca-style Terran where he's just like crazy amounts of factories. Okay, there we see more and more factories being thrown down now, at least going up to 6 or so. So he has got a very potent potential push timing here. 2 Reavers on the high ground, going to be trying to slow this down, but look at how many Goliaths there are. He's got like 6 Goliaths, so that even if 2 get sniped, he's still got enough to 2-shot the shuttle down. And that means that Bonyth will not be able to slow the advance of this Terran army nearly enough.
Yeah, this is the problem right here. He really needed to slow this push down with those Reavers. He's trying to bring them back now. Oh my god, that shuttle! Okay, it doesn't go down the Reavers. The Reavers do get a good shot off here. There are Dragoons behind this push as well that could cut off reinforcements, but MadiNho looks like he wants to get it done right here, Sean, and he's up 35 supply.
And this is the light spot. Putting your tanks up against this cliff edge is really hard to take out the Terran when you're in this little entrenched position. It's a big problem indeed. He has got some mines on top of those tanks. Maybe he could mine drag those with a shuttle bomb with some Zealots, but mostly this shuttle will be on duty to escort these Reavers around, so that might not even transpire. He has got those Dragoons waiting in the wings back at home, but there are some mines in the wake of those, so even if he does go back with those 4 Dragoons to help out, he might just lose the majority of them to that little trail of mines.
Yeah, I think MadiNho has it right. Hopefully he scanned the main and saw that there are only 4 gateways. Then he continues on. Oh my goodness! He just cleared he's gonna clear all the tanks with this DT. Oh my goodness, Sean. We just lost 6 tanks for the 2 DTs.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm not sure it even matters. I think that might be just barely enough Terra Metal waiting to come up in this rally point to actually still get the kill move here on Bonyth, but that's the one blow that maybe will spell the comeback potential for Bonyth. It looks like there's still just barely enough Terra Metal here to hold the line and trade well. Bonyth is still trading off tanks though. If he kills just 1 more siege tank, he's technically alive, and he can buy a bit of time with some micro, clear up all these mines, and eventually stabilize on these 3 bases, but it's gonna be a long time coming. He still has to fight an uphill battle to get there, but technically has a little bit of life in his veins.
Yeah, I mean, but how good is this guy to just continually... Oh my, he killed the Zealot Turgan.
No, he killed the mine. Oh no. Okay, he's still gonna kill the tank, Raz, so it's not like the end of the world, but I mean, eventually this Terran is gonna run over him. Surely there's so much production behind this.
Yeah, Bonyth taking a deep breath, almost a sigh. I think he knows. I mean, it's insane what he's done so far with what little he's had, but I don't know if he can really push back this Terran army that keeps kind of just rallying here. Vultures are killing this Nexus.
Yeah. I mean, and Bonyth has been so oversaturated in his main base because of losing that Nexus. His main is now pretty much mined out. So now he's more or less on 2 mining bases anyway, which kind of resets things yet again. And MadiNho's got this base coming up in the bottom right pocket. So the Terran is going to be on the superior economy regardless of what transpires in this game. Bonyth has to win on trades no matter what happens. And he's getting shut out from being able to do that. There's enough vultures now to screen against these Zealots regardless of their speed upgrade. So I don't know if there's any hope for Bonyth now. I think this is the last death throes of our Protoss player. He might attempt to break out a couple of more times, but I imagine this is the last kill execution order from MadiNho as he starts to tighten the noose around our Polish Protoss.
Yeah, right here, Bonyth knows his natural is totally breached. Oh, we're gonna get a ton more Zealot bombs trying to take out tanks. Oh, that's a good one, but there's just so many units. There's like 3 Dragoons, but there's like 20 Vultures. I mean, I don't think he can hold on. He's trying his best. What he's done with what he's had is incredible. But
I mean, this is wild.
MadiNho looks like he's finally done it here, pushing the probes back into the main. There's a Reaver. I think like the supply is crazy right now.
It's crazy. It's insane. He's double the supply. He has 3 bases worth of mining. He's just now transferred from his main because that was almost close to being mined out. And he's knocking out the 3rd Nexus for Bonyth. There's not much we can really say about this game anymore besides fantasy-style GG timing here from Bonyth. Maybe just wanting to like try and prove himself with his execution, tire out MadiNho a little bit to make him pay the price for getting the easy snipe on his Nexus. It's really great control here from Bonyth. Maybe he would have gone the distance had that not occurred, but this is some pretty good micro as well, killing those 2 tanks. He's showing his finesse in this matchup for sure. We know he's really good, but in this case, MadiNho got the better of him. GG is called, and MadiNho with an emotional victory there. Look at him, he feels fired up.
He is fired up. He'll probably do 2 more shots of Bacardi so he can be fired up for later. But MadiNho making the first surprise of this group and taking a game away from Bonyth.
Yeah, I mean, that was insane. Like, really well played from both players. But MadiNho just slightly better with that executed 3-tank push. Really perfectly done. And yeah, just having 3 SCVs with that push is the perfect number. You've got enough to start building 2 turrets and a bunker right off the bat. And that's the one way you can break that contain is with a shuttle helping you do so. So once they get turrets actually online alongside those tanks, it is a nightmare for Protoss.
Absolutely. I mean, he took a bunch of damage from the siege tanks so they went. The SCVs helped stop and kill an entire full HP and shielded goon. I mean,
yeah.
Impressive push from MadiNho.
Oh, it was really well done, Raz. I was not expecting that at all. I was expecting a much closer game from these two, but MadiNho making it look a little bit easy with that move-out timing. I mean, some players might say that's luck, but the way he was controlling those SCVs to body block that Dragoon, that certainly looked very skillful to me.
Yeah, really well. I mean, just really well done from him. So now Bonyth going to be on his final game. Probably feels like, oh my goodness, right now I have to win this last one, right? Just to make sure 3 wins is definitely securing you going through. But
has to.
Another PVT here, Sean. He's got to recover from that one, and he's got to put on another performance versus another Terran who's very tricky in TerrOr.
Yeah, that's going to be a crazy game. I mean, he doesn't know what kind of shenanigans are going to be coming out from this guy. This could be a BBS in the center of the map, a 2-fact push right off the get-go. Anything is possible, even just like, normal, like really fast vulture drop style. Anything is possible when you got Terror in the game. I guess it's even possible this guy could do something as insane as like a 2-port Wraith. You never really want to count out the possible range of play this guy is capable of. He's really true to his people here, and all the Peruvian players more or less know how to play the most insane range of build orders you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, he does have the bag of bills. This guy can do anything at any time. Like you said, you got to check for everything. It could be a BBS, it could be a proxy factory, it could be anything crazy. He is not afraid to pull it out. So Terror not scared for sure. Let's hopefully Bonyth, I mean, he's been here a lot, so I'm sure he can recover and just focus in on playing this next match. But now he's got to really just pull it back and get this one done.
I mean, with his insane pull-out game, Raz, he saves a lot of money on contraception. I can at least guarantee you that. It's absolutely wild what this guy is capable of. I'm really excited to see what we're going to have here, and the map is going to be Eclipse. Definitely not necessarily the most Terran-sided map, so TerrOr might even feel more pressure to do something a little bit crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised this map got through, since each players do get 3 bans, that this is what TerrOr allowed to sneak through to this game. I don't know if Bonyth is going to gas steal. Sometimes he doesn't.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see what Bonyth does. I'm surprised this made it through.
I mean, you can stop the gas steal by, like, putting an SCV on the ramp or something, but it's not ideal. I mean, you're still, like, spending a lot of money to keep that SCV on the ramp to block it in the first place. Nothing you do is really comfortable in combating the almost guaranteed gas steal on this map. I don't think that TerrOr wants to necessarily play bunker expand though either. So I imagine he has got something planned to circumnavigate the gas steal issue.
I mean, I would imagine he has something up his sleeve, right? Like, you don't let this map go through TVP unless you do.
Right. I'd be very flabbergasted if he just plays a straight-up game here. It's either going to be BBS or, an SCV blocking on the ramp or something. Like, I doubt he's just going to allow the gas steal transpire and try and play bunker expand. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just going to go for the proxy barracks and just go for it.
Right.
And say, all right.
Yeah, I think like 2 barracks in like the bottom right corner-ish, like close to where those expansions are, would be a pretty good idea. Pretty well hidden and also pretty close rally point.
Yeah, so that may be the case too, where it has that up his sleeve. Maybe he's okay with playing like a gasless style game early. I don't know. We're gonna see what TerrOr wants to do. Like I said, I'm also interested in what Bonyth is going to do. Is he going to actually play a gas steal? Like, I've seen him play many games on Eclipse where he prefers not to play the gas steal and just play a standard PVT.
That's interesting. I mean, that's very rare as well, because I would say that on this map and this matchup, gas steal is like 95% plus likelihood, right? It's very rare to not have a gas steal game.
Yeah, crazy unrare, right? It's just, you always see it. You always expect it.
Yeah, maybe one game in 100 or something you don't see it, and someone's going for something crazy. Or even just even if it's a Nexus first play, you're going for a gas steal though, right? Like, it's just such a good way of opening up.
Yeah, well, look at this special agent TerrOr. Did you know that he's a special agent?
I did not know that, but maybe that's why he's a special agent. Because if he would be so special if we knew he was a special agent.
Thank goodness he told us.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't see him coming.
Oh man. So we're just waiting for our players. It seems like they're almost ready here to jump into the 4th match. Gonna be an exciting one. TerrOr starting his round of 20 right here. Welcomed in by Bonyth.
Bonyth's been playing since Zelnaga, apparently, so he's definitely got the the purity of essence or form, one of those two. I'm not sure what quite it is, but definitely his control seems to be a little bit more on the form side of things. So hopefully TerrOr can have some stronger essence to combat him in this game. He's going to need it. This is his worst matchup, I believe, relative to Bonyth's best matchup. So I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to find out in just a second here.
Bonyth has no favorite food. Unbelievable.
Well, here we go, guys. TerrOr versus Bonyth on Eclipse. Let's get it.
All right, and spawning in the top right of Eclipse, it is Bonyth.
And in the opposing corner is the red Terran. It's the TerrOr himself from Peru. Is he going to do something crazy? We're about to find out. I was even wondering if it's going to be like something insane, like a 6 racks, something that you'd throw out in like a TVZ. You don't usually see that in TVP, but anything is possible if he's in the game.
You never know. This man is ready to do anything.
Yeah, I imagine he's got such an eclectic range of experience doing those builds as well. So he's going to drag you down to his level and beat you with experience no matter what he goes for.
Absolutely. Ooh, there's the terror cam. He's up and ready.
Yeah, he's got his hood up. See, that's why we don't know he's a secret agent. You only see him on the camera, you just see his hood. You don't actually see his face.
He has the red hoodie on because he was wanted to be the red Terran.
Nice. I'm glad these guys are very on brand. Look at Bonyth, he's got a blue hoodie on more or less as well. So yeah, everything is really lining up today, Raz.
And like I said here, Shud, not going for the gas deal.
Yeah, you were right, man. I'm surprised. I am flabbergasted. I guess it makes sense if you're used to playing a very certain style and you want to play as cookie cutter as possible, because if you do go for the gas steal, there's lots of other adjustments you have to make to the timings of your build, right? In terms of when you do what. So maybe he just wants to simplify his execution in his build order.
Yeah, he just wants to play his style and that's it. Maybe super metagame here. Terror knew this and he likes the map TVP if there is no gas deal.
Yeah, you might be onto something there, Razzle Dazzle. You might be very onto something there. I'm liking your thinking. There's actually not even a gas from Terror. He's taking it at 14 supply. That's crazy. Like, why is he taking his gas so late? Is he going to do like a weird Mong style build where he kind of bunker expands, kind of doesn't?
Maybe he's just going to make a whole bunch of Marines and do a strong FD push.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see if he gets in there early. Checks what's what. Sees a pretty normal opening from Bonyth. Sees the exact timing of the Zealot. Yeah.
Yeah, very standard here from Bond. Nothing crazy, right?
Right. I doubt he's going to skip range as well. Like, yeah. It seems he's made the Dragoon. Dragoon's on the way. I imagine range is about to start, and this will be probably like a 23 Nexus from him.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be, might be a 21. No, it's got to be 23.
I mean, it looks like 23 to me, but you know better.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 23, which is very standard for Bond, especially because he made the Zealot. I think that triggered the bunker here for Terror was seeing the Zealot, doesn't want the pressure. So, very interesting here, right? We're going command center.
This is how Mong plays, you know. Like, I see Mong do this a lot, where he gets his gas just a little bit delayed so he can afford the faster command center, but then the first factory is quicker than usual. Like, usually you're playing catch up and you're making like 2 factories more or less at the same time, whereas this factory is not too behind usual scheduling. So it kind of is like a middle of the road approach, but he is having a very fast command center still regardless, right?
Very fast. Very interesting to see here what he's gonna do from here.
I mean, I'm really curious about this style from Terran. Like, the only player I do see play this way is Mong, and Mong is an absolute beast in Terran versus Protoss. So maybe Terra's taken a few pages out of his book and learned a few things about more interesting ways of playing a macro game as Terran.
Yeah, I guess maybe he has some type of timing lined up here to try to sneak into the natural, right? We've seen that from many pro gamers where they kind of go through the bottom of the map and they get up there and then they just try to seize the nat. Maybe that's going to allow him some kind of timing. It looks like a 3-fac.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So it's going to be a pressure build, right? It's got to be pressure.
Oh, yeah. Very Terror-like.
Yeah, we expect nothing less from him. I'd be really shocked if he just went like, 2-fact into 2 armory here and just sat back and tried to take a 3rd base. I'd be super shocked.
I think he wants to get it done here, Sean. He's going to go for it.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I expect nothing less in this situation. It's going to be a very quick 3-fact build. He could also, make additional factories as the time ticks on. But with this many factories early on, he's going to be definitely doing some kind of crazy aggression. I imagine he's going to be making more and more production facilities as the time ticks by. He's got a fast engineering bay.
Is it going to be a 4th factory here? That'd be crazy.
I mean, I don't think he can afford a 4th factory just yet. I imagine he will add on more factories eventually, but for the time being, I think he can only make 3. I think it's going to take a few rounds of SCVs before he throws down the 4th and 5th.
Right. He's just slowly building up here. This is really interesting. I kind of like this build, right? Like, it's very different because your 3 factories are so much faster than the gateways. So
Right.
like the vultures will rally out quick, and you just get one tank production from the one factory. Like, could be interesting to see what he can do here.
He's actually prioritizing turrets over vultures as well. Like he's respecting the potential from Bonyth throwing out a very quick one-gate robo play with a very fast Reaver first instead of Observer. So he wants to make sure he's as safe as possible against something like that, and also deny the potential for the Observers to get in and get free information later on. Now I imagine he's going to be powering up really heavily off of these free factories and going for a move-out timing in about a minute or two. Looks like Bonyth, though, wants to try and seize the opportunity to put on some of his own pressure. Siege mode isn't just yet done, I think.
He doesn't get the probe up there. That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it's unlucky. He's not going to slow down that third base timing, but he is going to go out for the move out right now. He might get a pounce on these tanks. There's a lot of Protoss here.
Oh,
He can
no.
get maybe one of these siege tanks. Terror's in a little bit of trouble. One of those tanks goes down. The
no.
second one takes a big volley. Just one more connection. He does get the second tank. That's a big deal. The bunker might be going down as well, but he doesn't want to overstay his welcome. Killing those two tanks is more than enough damage here for Bonyth.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for his whole build, right? Like, it seemed like he was going for some kind of timing to really get out there and get a kill, but now, what do you do? That's a struggle. Oh my goodness, the bunker.
Oh, the bunker, the bunker. It's so close. He actually doesn't get the bunker. I'm surprised by that, but it doesn't really matter. Losing those two tanks is already pretty disastrous for TerrOr. He's kind of lost a lot of steam that he could have potentially gone for here. He will have to instead stabilize and go up to a more traditional 5-fact style to even be able to think about taking a fast third here. And Bonyth's going to dive on top of these tanks and maybe get one. Does manage to find that. That's a big
Sean, how does he
trade.
do it?
That's
How
crazy.
does he do it?
He can't keep getting away with this, Rez.
I mean, it's just crazy, man. Just diving in, getting those tanks. I mean, it's nuts. We got 3 tanks. I mean, this whole idea of this push is now pretty much over.
Yeah, it's pretty much over. He has to go 5 facts and then play a bit more of a standard middle of the road approach to this game. Even sniping some of these vultures as well, so they can't come out on a raiding party and be annoying. I mean, this is a really big deal from Bonyth. I think he's already starting to put the tilt inside of the booth of TerrOr, and he's unable to execute to the best of his ability right now. And yeah, forcing him to play a more middle of the road style with this 5 facts and delaying any hopes of a fast third base as well. Bonyth will be racing ahead in the economic curve of the game.
Ooh, maybe TerrOr can sneak a little vulture in here and get a couple probes. He can, maybe. All right.
Okay, he missed the phase disruption shot as well. It's gonna be harder to clean up while he's distracted as well. The tank move out back at home. Bonyth having a little bit of a hard time microing on two fronts there. Does manage to shut down one of these tanks though on the exit. Trading one Dragoon for a tank is a trade that Protoss players will take till the dawn, from the dawn to the end of times. And I don't know if this is gonna be enough for TerrOr to come out onto the map. I think he has to just take his third base and just kind of sit back and try and defend this wedge location between the rally point and the third, and not even think about a timing attack just yet.
Yeah, I think he's probably gonna have to sit here and play out a little bit longer of a game, right? I think we're on like 5-6 factory, but I think you're gonna have to just get units out, play into a later game.
I think
It'd be curious to see if Bonyth now tries to go like carry. Oh, looks like a 7th factory on the way.
Yeah, that's 6 factories at least. Yeah, he's not even thinking about a CC right now. So he's going to sit back, but he's going to plan on doing an attack that's a bit more delayed than usual. Might catch Bonyth off guard. Bonyth going to try and punish this current formation. He sees the mines. He's going to try and drag on top of them. He targets the mines with his vultures, though, denying that from occurring. Really well done there from TerrOr to avoid the shot. He's still losing so much of the splash damage of that Scarab. All the tanks are biting the dust right now, Raz. He is chomping through that Terran metal.
Oh my goodness, all the tanks dead. A whole bunch of vultures coming in. It doesn't even matter. They don't have speed. They're not escaping. Oh,
wow.
Sean, this is a real problem here now for TerrOr. You've lost all your tanks. They've been reset. I would not be surprised that Bonyth just drops a couple. Oh my God, what another shot from that. Oh my goodness.
Wow. I mean, Bonyth is just outclassing TerrOr in every way right now. There's no ways about it. Like, I can't really dress this up and make it seem better than it is. Bonyth is just outclassing TerrOr in this game and trying to get revenge for the game against MadiNho. maybe a little bit annoyed about that. Look at these connections. He's going to kill these 2 tanks as well. This is insane, Raz.
Wow.
What is going on?
Just showing why he is just so insane with his micro. He is just tearing through TerrOr. TerrOr is getting no damage done. He's only on 5 gateways, but his micro unit control is crazy.
Bonyth is going to go carriers behind this. And what do you even do against this as TerrOr? Like, the only way to stop this from occurring is having like a 2 to 3 minute attack window to shut it down. How would you do that when they've killed all your tanks? And there's another massive flood of Protoss coming towards you as it stands.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on much longer here. He may be able to drag this game a few more minutes, but once these carriers kick in, it's going to be a real problem. I mean, we're down to 3 tanks at 11:30. Oh my goodness, here we go. We're going to mind drag.
Oh, he might not even get to the carriers.
Goodness.
He might just kill him here. He doesn't even need the carriers. That's just an insurance
we
policy that doesn't need to be cashed in. Oh my god, I just don't even know what to say about this. This is one of the most one-sided games we've had in the BSL for quite some time. This is really impressive from Bonyth. GG is called, and Bonyth with the quick 3-1 in the group to try and solidify that first spot.
Yeah, wow, he was annoyed about that game versus MadiNho, and he came back out super strong. I mean, he just looked incredible there. Microing just phenomenally, picking off tanks, using the Reaver, dragging mines, all the good stuff in PvT. So that'll wrap up Bonyth's day right there, and he's able to go 3-1. Definitely good enough to secure a spot in the next round. The question is which spot, but holy cow.
Yeah, that was really insane. I mean, he's basically now a shoo-in to go through. Just a matter of whether or not he's in spot number 1 or 2, I would say, with that result. Kind of crazy, to be honest with you. He definitely was a bit annoyed about the game with MadiNho and wanted to kind of get revenge in that matchup. I kind of feel bad for TerrOr that he was, going off the back of that. There's almost nothing that would have stood in Bonyth's way from getting a victory quite as well executed as we saw just a few moments ago. One of the best PvTs we've seen in a long time. And coming up next, we've got MadiNho going up against TerrOr in a TVT special. That's going to be a bit of a monstrous game. I saw TerrOr pull out some craziness against Tarson a couple of groups ago as well the other week. TerrOr definitely makes this mirror matchup spicy.
Oh yeah, he was insane. So TerrOr, like we said before, anything can happen. But MadiNho, a force to be reckoned with, taking out Bonyth before. So he seems like he is rared and ready to go to play these games. So I'm sure we're going to see some really strong play from him. And interesting enough, the map choice is Death Valley.
That is the map that TerrOr did school Tarson on, though. So maybe we might see a repeat of there. Might be see a 1-1-1 build from TerrOr, making non-stop Wraiths and tanks to try and put the pressure on MadiNho. Have to see how well MadiNho can handle it. I hope his shot to game ratio is on point. So he's like, drunk, but not too drunk. And I have to say, Raz, sometimes alcohol does seem to help certain types of Broodwar players. It almost seems like a superpower where it gets rid of all their nerves and jitters, and they can just play in the here and now and play their absolute A game.
They just come ready to go, right? They're just more poised. I wish it helped me with that, but it does not. Too many drinks and you can't even click. Maybe like one beer or something like that. You feel a little relaxed, but couple, you're like, oh god, I can't do what I got to do here.
You're not a drunken boxer, that's for sure. But some of these guys they really do seem to play better when they've had a few. I don't know if it's just a nerves thing. I did speak to MadiNho a bit about it. He did say it's more or less that, where it's kind of that makes him feel less nervous and helps him play his best. And I mean, it seems to work for him. I mean, more power to him. He's like a Viking, basically. He's going to down a few flagons of mead and then just absolutely cut you open with an axe afterwards.
Yeah, how many of those bottles do you think he consumes? Just the one in the right hand, the one left hand? Like, what do you think?
I think that it probably swigs from one to the other, just kind of rotates which hand he's utilizing,
He just makes it happen.
Yeah, I think he just slowly guzzles both bottles.
All right, well, our players are ready. Let's get into our first TVT of the day. We got all the matchups incoming here.
It's TerrOr versus MadiNho on Death Valley. Let's get it.
All right. And spawning in the bottom right of Death Valley, it's TerrOr.
His opponent in the opposing corner in the blue trunks is MadiNho. Probably feeling a little bit cooked after the amount of alcohol he's consumed, but I'm sure it's just the right amount to forget his nerves, forget what happens in the long term, and just play his absolute A game.
TerrOr looking like he may be singing a song, you know?
He has got music in the background when he plays, I think, a lot.
So maybe he's just, you know, feeling it. We have another Bacardi shirt for MadiNho. Different hat, different Bacardi shirt.
Okay. He's showing the merch off, man. He's got all kinds of merch.
He's ready now. He needed the cowboy hat for Bonyth, the StarCraft hat for TerrOr.
Can you imagine if, like, Bacardi had their own StarCraft team? It'd be pretty dope.
He'd be the captain.
Yeah, he would.
He would be the captain, ready to go.
He's wearing his StarCraft captain's hat right now. Let's see if he can take over TerrOr's boat and say, I'm the captain now. Might actually occur, you know. Like, I saw TerrOr be able to take out Tarson on this map with some finesse. Not so sure MadiNho is going to be as easy of a foe. The question is, where do we build our barracks? Right now, okay, TerrOr has elected to build a very proxy barracks. That's what I expected from him. Very forward barracks and evil. Look at this scout. If only just seen this barracks being placed, he could be really annoying to TerrOr and make him stop being able to build that and maybe enforce a cancel. Would have been a big early win for MadiNho, but it doesn't occur.
Oh my goodness, that's so unlucky. Poor MadiNho, but extremely lucky for TerrOr.
Yeah, he knows exactly where to place that barracks, so it's unlikely to be scouted on the usual unit pathing. He would have had to manually control that SCV to slide a bit more to the south to make sure that scout managed to spot something like that. I do think this is going to be a 1-1-1 proxy build from TerrOr. It's the same build he used on Tarson. It certainly worked out well for him. He's scouting down into the south of his base with that SCV, worried about some crazy shenanigans from MadiNho. He's projecting, I think. He just knows how crazy his range of players that he expects craziness sometimes out of his opponents when there's none to find.
And we got Gasless from Bacardi Man. The Bacardi Man himself is just going to go with the Gasless, quick CC towards, I think, the bottom of the map.
I'm not sure I like that. I think he needs to step on the gas tonight. I think he shouldn't be doing this right now. I feel like against anyone, the player you don't go for gasless for is against someone like TerrOr, especially when there's two entrances into your base, Raz.
Surprised that TerrOr hasn't taken his gas.
Yeah. Oh, does he get the SCV? He does, I think. Oh, it's so close. He didn't target it. Oh, he miscontrolled that SCV. He would have killed it.
MadiNho does have the Marines, though, to hold his first push. And, I mean, TerrOr's going to have to fight up this ramp, so maybe he'll just put a bunker down and hold.
Right. I'm curious, though, is he going to throw down that proxy starport with this SCV out on the map? He could, like, build the starport, like, you see where this high ground is towards where the Marines are to the north. Like, it could be placed somewhere like that. And he has got the SCV scout coming way out onto the map. So I thought he was going to be going for a proxy starport, but it seems like he's thinking against it right now. Maybe after seeing 4 Marines from MadiNho, realizing there'd be a little bit too much anti-air to go for a tank Wraith play.
Is he going to put down another CC?
No way. No way.
Okay. I thought
that'd be
he
crazy.
Had 400 saved up. I was like,
would
what?
Be crazy. I think the tipple was just getting the better of him a little bit there, and just a few more minerals than usual got banked up.
So that would be insanity.
Crazy, honestly, like too crazy.
Okay, got the bunker up.
Yeah,
we're safe. But he's
there it is.
Double port. Yep. I was saying he's gonna put that factory on the low ground too and make vultures. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, this is too many Marines for a 1-1-1, so I'm gonna make 2 starports instead of 1. And I mean, who can fault the logic?
I think TerrOr's gonna really need to get some damage done here, but oh my goodness, he gets. Oh my god, he has no Marines now in the bunker.
Yeah.
He needs to make a vulture. I don't see an armory though from.
No,
MadiNho.
there is no armory. Okay, this actually might be a very quick game because there's not that many Marines out. He's making
Oh, we're
his own
going for a
starport, but
starport.
it's going to be too late, Raz. That starport's way too late. He's going to really put the hurt on MadiNho now. And this Wraith can also help kill the Vulture as well. So this is going to be a nightmare. You can just target down SCVs, not even worry about the Vulture. It makes sense as well. Man.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming in here. We have the armory on the way, but not before we lose a couple more SCVs. We have a couple Marines trying to help out, fend these Wraiths off.
I mean, he's going to lose at least like 6 or so SCVs, bare minimum. And now he can camp the SCVs that are sent to build this armory over and over again. And Wraiths absolutely destroy Marines in small numbers, so those Marines are not going to be able to help out enough. And there's a third Wraith also to pew down with some burst lasers on the natural SCVs. To be fair, though, SCVs have 60 HP, obviously, so it does take a long time to chew through them. Like, 7 shots, essentially, to actually kill these SCVs. It does take a long time, but it adds up very quickly. Like, he still hasn't finished this armory. It's on, like, 6 HP. He does get 2 Vultures into the main base of TerrOr, though, Raz.
Yeah, he might be able to get some damage here. We see 2 SCVs going down, but how does he deal? He doesn't even have the armory building.
Why is he not trying to build that? Just send 2 at a time to go and start building that, and you'll finish it off. There we go. Finally gets it. Engineering Bay also on the way, but he's lost so many SCVs, so much mining time. He didn't really kill too many of the SCVs of TerrOr on the counter attack as well. This is going to be problematic to say the least for a Norwegian Terran player. MadiNho currently trying to stabilize, but there's so many Wraiths hitting him right now, and Cloak is about to finish.
Yeah, he'll never be able to see these Wraiths. We're going to lose all of our SCVs here. Unfortunate. I really like the build from MadiNho, but not quite go. Ooh, he has a block here.
I mean, speak for yourself, Raz. I think going for a bunkerless against TerrOr on this map is like career suicide, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, he went for it. He tried to be a little creative. Oh, we get a couple Wraiths. Oh,
it's pretty
but
good.
We have 1 SCV.
And no SCVs. I mean, maybe he could somehow win, right? I don't think so, though. GG is called. A nice, impressive win there from TerrOr. Kind of
with a sigh of relief there. I think he was a little nervous with the bunker getting up and everything else, but he does pull it out.
And now he's tied up with MadiNho in score, right? Both of them are going to have 1-1. So, I mean, this is going to be interesting. Are we going to have a really big fight for that second place spot there? It's going to be interesting to see if anyone can also secure a 3-1 to challenge Bonyth for that #1 spot. Don't necessarily think that will happen. I think there's going to be a big fight for that #2 spot, though.
It'd be crazy if everyone beats everyone. You got a bunch of 2-2s,
Oh, it's possible, right?
Oh, very possible. I can see a bunch of these guys taking games off each other. You don't know. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. Well, we're shifting gears back again here, Shun. We're going with another PvZ now. Doodle, who's been on quite a break. Izu, been on one less game of a break. Going to match up here and going to get after each other.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm loving the switching of gears, honestly. It's like almost a new matchup every single map. I mean, I'm happy about that personally. I love the variety. And PvZ is also one of my favorite matchups. So I'm super excited to that. And we get to see Doodle 3 games in a row to really dial in with how well he's been playing recently. He's improved so much over the last couple of years.
Yeah, very strong PvZ, very standard. Once again, he's not a cheesy player. He just plays straightforward. Izu, definitely another straightforward player. So I think we're going to get a pretty good clash here of styles into their game. Map, I believe they're still doing their bans, so we're not quite sure who or what map we're going to play on. But I'm interested to see what they want to pick. Will we have another Polestar?
It might be. We've had so much Polestar tonight. It is a really good map, though. One of the best new maps we've had in a long time. It is pretty balanced. I think it's like got a few percentage points going either way. I think slightly more Terran favored match in PvT, slightly more Terran sided in TVZ, but it's more or less a fair balanced map. And the fact that it allows so much macro potential with how many gas expansions are available to you as a player can really give you some interesting games and not just be locked into like timing attacks every single time.
Yeah, I think this map is gonna get interesting with the middle, right? Like there's a couple pathways to the third, there's a couple little ramps, so like lurker contains are a little bit hard unless you do it right by the natural, so it kind of eliminates some of that. You kind of get into more of this macro game fighting style all the time, which is kind of nice for this matchup.
Yeah, yeah, and has a really open center as well. So despite having those really tight chokes at the gas expansions, really a lot of opportunities for flanking and maneuverability in the center of the board as well. So really does create an interesting dynamic in terms of both having lots of macro potential, but also like the person who has the superior unit control overall tends to reign supreme once the armies are out.
Absolutely, and we haven't really seen many of the games get to like super late game PBZ, but with so many bases, this map could have some potential to be get really crazy.
Yeah. But to be fair, like PVZ is the most balanced matchup on this map out of all three of the matchups.
Yeah, I think there's really no crazy advantage with how the map lays out for either side, right? Like you can defend well with your Protoss Reserve and your natural third,
Right.
so
Well,
I think like that leaves it for a better way to get to late game where you can hold these bases easier.
There's a bit for everyone. Like, I mean, there's really tight chokes at the natural third for the Protoss to exploit, so they can get their third base a bit easier than maybe they should. There's a massive open middle for the Zerg to do flanks and what have you. There's a little bit of everyone to take advantage of, and there's even like with how close the third base is to the main base, you could even drop a lurker behind that to harass the mineral line. There's so many room for opportunities for players to exploit the map that it kind of goes tit for tat.
Absolutely. And players can kind of express themselves however they want with their style on the map, right? Like there's no set way you need to play or something you can do, so.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I like about it. It kind of allows you to go about it the way you want to and allow you to play into your strengths, whatever those strengths may be. Izu probably not quite as potent of a player as Doodle in this matchup if you're going based on statistics alone. We'll have to see where these two players do line up. I haven't really seen a lot of Izu's games, to be honest with you, so I actually don't know how good he is in PvZ.
Doodle's a good player. He's very strong. Like I said, very standard. He'll get into that mid game of like heavy goon armies. So.
About Izu though, sorry. I was talking about Izu. I don't know much about his. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he plays very standard. 6 hatch aggression. He can go with that ogre Zerg style if he wants, heavy muta, heavy scourge, but usually very standard as well. Like I don't see much very crazy all-ins from him. Maybe some 9-7-3 with some pressure, but pretty much the same.
Yeah, apparently he plays Counter-Strike as well as League of Legends, so a bit of an eclectic range of games he enjoys. I'm not so much into MOBAs, but I can get down with some FPS.
Counter-Strike, good game. League of Legends, if you want to torture yourself, play that.
Yeah, Counter-Strike's great, especially if you're talking 1.6 and Source. I'm not so much a fan of CSGO or whatever the new ones are, but yeah, the older ones I'm really into.
Played a bunch of League. It's a very frustrating game.
I played a bit. I played Season 4 kind of era, though. I played a tiny bit of the new era, but not really. I mainly played like Season 4 back in the day.
Oof, you get stuck in that game in difficult times.
It doesn't seem like a fun place to be honest with you. Like, the only enjoyable games I had were probably ARAM, and that's about it.
I believe that. All right, I believe our players are ready. So we're going to be jumping into this game here. It seems like our map that was selected was Radion.
Nice.
So
let's get
we'll
it.
Have Izu versus Doodle on Radion.
Let's get it, guys.
All right, and spawning in the top right of Radion, it is Doodle.
His opponent in the opposing corner has the blue Zerg. It's Izu.
We saw Izu last game open up with an overpool. Let's see if he does the same versus Doodle. I imagine he probably will. Most Zerg's playing overpool right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can go 11 hatch, but I think, like, you know, cannon rushes, and if the Zealot kills just one drone at the start, you might as well have gone for overpull anyway. So I think most Zergs have figured out, okay, overpull probably the tried and true way to go here.
Kind of just middle of the road, stops everything.
Yeah, yeah. It's not necessarily great against everything, but it's okay against everything. So you might as well, you know, play to your strengths and make sure you don't get caught off guard in the early game. There's so many Zergs that go for hatchery first and lose the game right away to like a 12 Forge or a very fast Zealot pressure right off the get-go.
Let's see if Doodle's going to open up with Forge. It seems like he is with the Pylon Scout, so going to play very standard, get into that mid game, nothing crazy. And there it is. Overpull.
Probably no one's shocked at all to see the overpull here. I definitely myself would always go for a style like this against Protoss. It's just superior to the hatchery first, in my opinion. You only really need to go for the hatchery first if you're worried about the opponent being a far superior player, and the extra drone is going to make the difference. But if he's that much of a better player, I doubt the extra drone is going to help you.
Absolutely. All right, will Doodle recognize this since it's cross map and get a little bit spicy and just go for the Nexus before the cannon, or will he throw his cannon down first?
I mean, he's trying. It's interesting because he was trying to hide the Overlord so that it would force Doodle to scout the main base for a 9 pull. But Doodle, oh, actually doesn't block it. It's been unfortunate for Doodle. Didn't get the block on that hatchery. Izu kind of getting away with murder right now and not getting too much of a slowdown from this early game shenanigans. Trying to do a bit of a juking and jiving with that probe to guarantee it getting in to potentially scout without taking too much hull damage.
He's getting in here. He's going to see how many lings. Oh, just 2. Okay. Oh, 4. Seems to be pretty standard. Nothing crazy there.
Yes, because of how late the drone scout was. This could be a Zealot first from Doodle, and you kind of need to make safety lings if you're not sure about it.
You don't want to make 2 and 2 drones and all of a sudden a Zealot walks in your base, because then you're really sad.
That's for sure. That's for sure, yeah. And sometimes you don't drone scout at all, and you'll just make 4 lings initially, and you'll be safe. That's kind of like a Zealot style, as in the player Zealot style way of going about it. But Izu being a bit of a double dipper here. He's doing a late drone scout as well as making those safety lings, which means his economy is very low right now. Also takes 1 ling loss as well as 1 shot on that ling. So yeah, very low economy for Izu. Will have to play out of his mind to make sure he can make up any tiny deficits he's occurred already.
Yeah, and everything, both sides shunned very to the time, to the build, nothing wild.
Yeah, this is pretty standard so far from both sides. Nothing crazy at all. Like I say though, look how light the drone count is from Izu right now. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Did he miss an overlord or something? My goodness, like the drones are very light.
Well, he it's because he went for the 4 lings and a drone scout and tried to like waste time chasing down the probe with his drone. There's a little bit less mining has been accrued by Izu as a result. And now he's paying the price. I mean, he's invested in all these lings. He didn't really need to. You know, he could have made just 2 lings and been okay. So he went 6 lings and drone scouted and wasted time chasing the probe. I mean, that's a lot of minerals to spend for nothing at the start.
Yeah, we see Doodle getting tricky here with his Zealot going down the right side of the map. Probably going to be able to get into the 3rd. See if he can get any drones with this, or will Izu recognize it or scout it earlier. But this is the trick when you don't have your overlord over the natural, right?
Yeah.
You are in trouble with this.
I mean, he's probably going to get into the 3rd base with the Zealot if he wants to and put a lot of pressure on him. If he loses a drone, that's a nightmare, but even just losing mining time is already bad enough.
Yeah, he's already taking those hits. Immediate reaction from Izu, man. He is on top of his multitasking and minimap.
Oh, can he keep that going? Just take a few punches on that drone. No, he loses it! Oh, you cursed him, Raz.
Oh, man, I did. Cast to the commentator there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Caster's Curse coming in and really starting to punish Izu in this game. He's taken so much damage indirectly already, and now the Zealot behind the mineral is going to be even more annoying. He's got some speedlings out, but it's going to take some time to actually kill this Zealot. There's also 2 more additional zealots on the way.
Oh, no.
Please tell me
Oh,
no
no.
way. Not like this. That's insane. And he killed another drone, Raz. Oh my gosh, this guy's economy is in shambles right now.
Yeah, Doodle doing what he needs to get done, man. That's a really good move from him with that zealot. Look at this. He feints with the zealots, and then Izu makes more lanes, and he pulls them back. He said, I'm not going to lose these zealots. As long as you're not making drones, I'm good with it.
Yeah. It's your observation, man. He's going to have a hard time droning up and being okay behind this. And that many links being made for not much gain is going to be problematic, to say the least. I don't think there's going to be much counterplay for Izu. I mean, generally speaking, as Zerg, when you are behind, you just play from behind. You can go for an all-in potentially, but in this kind of game state, it doesn't really make much sense. It's much better just to play from behind.
Yeah, we're going to lose an Overlord here. He'll be able to just lose 1 with the Spire timing. But Doodle getting a full scout with that. Sayre, he knows exactly what he's up against. Ooh, we're making a second cannon, which means Doodle probably wants to move out with these elves as soon as they have leg speed.
Yeah. The 2 cannons basically makes it really safe to move out with the zealots. You kind of feel a little bit iffy about it with just the 1, just because of the counter link run by potential and what have you, just surrounding that cannon and killing it for free or something. Has got the Mutalisks now popping out. Only a single gas for Izu, so I doubt this is a full committal into like an Ogre game of Star. He's losing all his links for free, but at least he's going to get on top of these zealots now to start doing some DPS. But Mutalisks, despite being really microable, do not do that much DPS, so it takes a long time to chew through those zealots.
Yeah, kind of exactly what we saw from Izu game 1, right? The 5 Muta trying to harass probes, but Doodle has made a bunch of Sayre, so he is ready for them. So I think we're seeing a very close, almost exact build from game 1 to game 2 here for Izu.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing, except he's taken a little bit of damage early on that we didn't see in that other game. So I'm worried for him because he didn't look so strong in that other game either. So I hope he can get it together here. I mean, sometimes StarCraft, though, is that type of game where you have to play with a sense of urgency, and the further you are behind, the harder you play almost. So I'm hoping that kind of lights a fire underneath him to play his absolute best.
Yeah, and he's sharking around with these Muta, but the Sayre, like in game 1, are just waiting.
Yeah.
Double sunken again, Shun. That always hurts the eco.
It does. I mean, you do see it a lot when they go for Mutalisks early. You're just worried about the lack of DPS from the Mutas. Even if you do catch the Zealots, they'll just chew through your drones regardless of taking shots from those glaives. So it's very usual to have that sunken. He may even feel pressure to make a second sunken if this Zealot Archon timing was quicker. Now, as soon as he sees this Archon, he might be panicked a little bit and throw down a second sunken. Depends on how good his unit production is. He's currently supply blocked, actually, so he might have to make a second sunken. There's the second sunken. You need additional sunkens to target down the Archon manually so that the Mutalisks can actually stay alive in the air regardless of that. But with the Corsairs in tow, it's still going to be a very tight defense here from Izu. He's in trouble.
Yeah, he's throwing down more sunkens even in the Nat, so Doodle winning with that passive pressure right now, right? Like getting himself ahead, forcing out static D, forcing him to make units and not drones. So just poking in, poking out, going back. I would love to see Doodle take like a 6th gate third off of this and really macro into the mid game. Like he has map control, so it would be nice to see that.
I mean, this is what I love about StarCraft, is it's so much like poker in terms of representing range of play and what hands you've got, and you can do damage without even actually pulling the trigger. Like just threatening the idea of an attack is enough to do indirect damage to your opponent and force loss of economy by investing into defense when you don't necessarily want to go for it in that current phase of the game. Seems like he's now starting to get into his unit production, but Doodle's already done a lot of damage. He's going to have to find some compensation soon and try and catch these units. He's trying to do a wraparound now of those Zealots and see if he can catch some of them for free, but Doodle has a few reinforcements showing up, but he has to retreat to the safety of his High Templars. He can't fight this many Hydras up, and now there's nothing defending the Overlords back at home. These Corsairs are going to kill something.
Oh, no. Oof. Luckily they have speed, right, Shun? So we can run some away, but we're chasing this army while these Overlords are all just going down, and the continuous taxing of the eco is going to be devastating here for Izu.
Yeah, no, he hasn't got that many drones to work with, and he's forced to make non-stop units. He's trying to intercept this army right now. Has to be careful this Archon doesn't turn around and get some Sonic Shockwaves for free on those, but he's mainly just trying to delay this army and force it to turn around to engage so that the Hydras can clean it up. He's killed so many of these Overlords, though, that Doodle not really worried about this current situation. Like, Izu kind of has to kill him to make this not be a problem, and that's impossible right now with 4 High Templars sitting behind the wall with a few cannons as well. He has to bank instead on catching these Zealots. He's running them down all the way to the northwest quadrant of the map, trying to isolate this army and kill it off to find compensation in this game. Meanwhile, though, scrambling back at home, trying to protect his Overlords, which don't seem long for this world.
No, Doodle's doing a really good job with the Sayers to keep them active and going, and now we're trading off some Zealots for Hydra. They're 1-1 already. I mean, probably the best possible trade that Doodle could get with the army splitting up, right? I mean, got a whole bunch of Hydra kills.
I mean, that's kind of wild. The only thing bad about that was he didn't use the Archon to engage with those Zealots. It would have been even a better fight for him. The Archon finally now biting the dust, but already paying dividends is his units, forcing the Hydras that far out of position to ravage the Overlords, and then still getting some value on trading off the Hydras. I mean, Doodle is feeling pretty fantastic about this. He can power off, like, you know, up to 9 gateways worth of production if he wanted to, or just 8 and take a third. What the world is his oyster right now. Doodle can kind of do whatever he wants. He can do a massive 2-base timing and try and bowl over the Zerg, or just take a third and attack behind it.
Looks like he's opting for the third right now.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all. It's a good insurance policy. Once you're ahead, get more ahead.
And, oh. Okay, storms don't land perfectly here. Sarah here to deal with the Muta, but it's got to concern Izu that he's seeing this third already up. You know, it's like, okay, he's taking it in. And Doodle already at 150 supply.
Well, he'd rather Doodle be attacking him, because that would actually at least then kind of pay off that he hasn't got a huge drone count, and like his army will actually, you know, be able to be utilized. Whereas right now he's got a pretty big army, not that many drones, but he can't attack. And that's like the worst combination for Zerg to be in this current situation. And this Zealot hit squad might be able to cancel this hatchery. This could be crazy. Okay, he's actually not going to commit to that. I thought he was going to run in with the Zealots and just try and kill this 4th base and then run out again. But maybe valuing the lives of his Zealots a little bit highly and making sure he actually gets maximum value out of these units. Always catching a few of the High Templars off guard, forces a storm. That's at least 1 Templar dead for 4 mutas. Ain't too bad. You know, a little bit surprising to try and get a cancel in that 4th base, but it is still a good idea to keep that Zealot count as healthy as possible.
Yeah, I think this first push is going to be extremely strong. Just Doodle's been macroing like a hero out here. Already at 172. Upgrades are really good. Izu's been struggling through the game with his eco. We saw the drones before. We saw Overlords go down. This might be able to be just a knockout punch here for Doodle. I mean, or they're just going to run the armies into each other here. Sean, what do I know?
I mean, they might. I mean, looks like Izu's actually trying to set up an attack right now. He's got so many lurkers, but only 2 lurkers over at this natural 3rd location, or they're all bunched up. He needs to split them perfectly, or they're going to easily be dismantled. The Hydra's finally flanking from the north, trying to get on top of these High Templars. There are actually some lurkers in the background as well, doing some good target firing on those High Templars. There's not enough to kill them all, though. Doodle still has a pretty sizable contingency of forces out here, putting pressure onto Izu, and the flank attempt was a nice idea from Izu, but just not the most well executed effort from him. Doodle actually think about a 4th base attempt, which will be delayed by Izu, but this is not nearly good enough. He's going to kill off these Hydras more or less for free, and Doodle is going to, you know, even more get ahead. Well, that's a pretty good high. Okay, that's a pretty big deal. If you get some, okay, 1 Observer kill and a High Templar, it's not the worst.
2 High Templar and an Observer. That was definitely not bad.
Okay, that's definitely not bad, yeah. I mean, but he has to transition into Hive now. I'm surprised the Hive hasn't already started. He's got the Queen's Nest. He just hasn't pushed the H button.
I think he's trying to survive here, just trying to get as much Hydra lurk out as he can, because he knows this army of Protoss is so strong. Big storm right there, gonna probably make that egg go down. Rest of Doodle's army coming in from behind. Another big storm.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Not a
Target
few
throwing onto those
more.
High Templars. Good storm dodging as well, but there's so many Zealots and Goons raining down on him right now. This standing army of Protoss is almost insurmountable for the Zerg at this point. He doesn't even have to go for a kill move. He could rotate to the 4th base and kill that, but he senses weakness. He knows he could potentially get a tactical snipe on this Hydra Den and Hatchery at the bare minimum. There is good surface area to work with for Izu, but it's not going to be good enough. Once you let the High Templars into your mineral line, he's going to storm over the Sim City and annihilate you regardless. And the Dragoons, at the very least, going to be acting as siege tanks and killing off your macro facilities. This is almost lights out for Izu.
Izu in big trouble here. We got the production on. Okay, there was a, he's on the production. He's on the rally point. He's sending in Doodle. Going to take that game. So he puts a win in his column.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's tying up right now. That's well, except Izu. Izu is going to potentially be the 0-3 or sorry 1-3 or 0-4 loser here today. Everyone else is tying up, so you might be right about like 3 of these guys going 2-2 or something crazy like that. And Izu, unfortunately, he seems like he's following in yours and Wolfix's footsteps a little bit, and he's showing nothing but zeros on his wins so far.
Yeah, it's not a good strategy, let me tell you. Bad strategy to go for the 0 in the W column. I know best. I was there, but really good. So we're going to take a 2-minute break, quick break, and then we're going to get back into it with Doodle versus MadiNho.
Sounds good, guys. Get some beer, get some snacks, and join us here in just a few minutes for some more crazy action. I'm enjoying it so far. Peace, guys.
All right, and we are back. What a crazy group. A lot to be decided still. Got multiple players with 1 win. Bonyth already put up 3. Only a few games left. Every game matters, Shun.
Yeah, we're jumping right into it. Raz is MadiNho versus Doodle on Polestar. Let's get it on, guys.
All right, and spawning in the top right, it is MadiNho.
His opponent in the bottom right is the blue Protoss. It's Doodle. Man so nice he named himself twice.
All right, I know Doodle loves. Oh my goodness, look at that man.
Oh
It's-
my gosh.
It's the Bacardi bat.
I mean, it's not the hero we deserve, but he's the hero we need right here and now, Raz. He's like looking all black and sleek. And he's not a superhero technically, right? Like, this is the thing about Batman, is like the big deal is that he's just a man.
He's just a man, but with vengeance in his
A
heart.
lot of money. In this case,
A
Bacardi.
lot. It's all that Bacardi money, baby.
You know it. So do you reckon this is going to be anything crazy from Doodle this game? Like, does he ever go for like gasless Nexus first kind of style play, or?
Not the much that I've ever seen him. I've mostly. Ooh, is this 10 from MadiNho? Might be getting a little spicy quickly out here. I would say Doodle's very much so like shuttle style, 3-base busts, like things like that. Like that's usually what he likes to play.
Okay. And I mean, this quick scout from Doodle is probably going to avoid disaster. Like, I'm sure he's played enough games that he knows that gas is ahead of schedule, right? Like, he knows that this is some shenanigans.
He should know that something's up. It's already done. He's a mining, but
And there's not that many SCVs. Like, you can tell, like, an advanced player can see the saturation of SCVs is slightly off. You know what I mean? Like, it should be obvious.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, he's about to make the factory in the center of the board as well. Doodle knows this is some craziness at this point. Oh, we got to make it there. Okay, in the face of Doodle. I thought he was going to drop it down in the middle here. He's actually concerned about Doodle's own center gates, it seems, but he could be making the second factory out here in the center and go for a crazy 2-factory play, although he's only mining 1 on gas so far, so that doesn't seem to be too likely.
Yeah, I think this is just standard here. I think he's just gonna get up the vulture, maybe just go with the command center with the bunker, with no bunker, and then play it out. Unless he's gonna do some kind of crazy pressure and FD push, maybe that's the other way. Ooh, Doodle looking at the center himself, making sure there's no proxy fact.
Yeah, I mean, he's wise to do that. I mean, at the very least, this could be like a 2-fact with the second in the middle, right? So that's definitely a possibility here from MadiNho, so it's good to check.
And MadiNho's filling the darkness with his mask. Yeah, we're gonna see an FD push here.
Yeah, Doodle's saying that Doodle's saying you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it and molded by it. Doodle is going to be playing the role of Bane for this game.
He's ready. Okay, and this could be very effective, right? Like we went 1 goon, Nexus, right? So MadiNho able to block Doodle out.
Ooh, good blocking with that probe as well, getting a bit extra damage onto the SCV. Still not going to clean it up too quickly. I'm curious. I mean, he's building, additional Marines. This could be a very strong FD push coming out from MadiNho here in a few moments.
Wow, MadiNho really going for it. We're probably going to need a shield battery. Yeah, we're going to probably need a shield battery here.
I think so. Yeah, he has to make a shield battery. He might go up to like even 8 Marines. This is kind of nutty. He's got the SCV there like he wants to make an expansion, but I doubt he's making an expansion anytime soon. That might be just because in case a Dragoon tries to scout him in a second here.
Yeah, I have my doubts. I think that he's just going to push here and try to win right here.
I
mean, oh my goodness. We got
8 Marines! There's 9
And a
Marines.
9th one on the way.
This is
MadiNho
crazy.
came here to play today to win these games fast. He is not. Oh my God, he's going for it.
That's a 10th Marine on the way. That's insanity. Oh my gosh, is the strongest FD push you've ever seen in your life, Raz. Needs to be careful not to take any damage for free on this tank. Okay, he's spreading his army. He's gonna go wide. Are you kidding me? Look at this majestic, handsome nerd right now. He's in his Viking robo and he's sailing around the majority of Doodle's forces. So he's gonna lose the vulture if he's not careful, though. Unfortunately for him, Doodle now could get his dragoons caught off out of position, though. If he's not moving his army in enough. Oh, he might still get on top of it.
He gets right on it. Wow, major damage.
That's a lot. Okay, he needs the shield battery. Okay, he's got the shield battery on the way. But this might be a strong enough attack from MadiNho that it doesn't matter. I mean, this is crazy. It's going to come down to unit micro only. I mean, Doodle knows he has to stay outside of his own Sim City with his initial dragoons to begin with, just to get a little bit of slowdown and pick off a few of these Marines and maybe a vulture if he can make it happen. Needs to be careful, though. Like, MadiNho has a lot of damage potential. Each one of those Marines taking 4 phase disruption shots to kill.
Oh, we have Siege 2 already.
Oh my gosh. Wow. He's putting Doodle on the clock, man.
Yeah, Doodle's going to have to get ready to push out here and address this, because if MadiNho can get his tanks... Oh, no, he loses the vulture.
He's supply blocked.
Oh, Doodle is supply block with that going down.
Man, this is going to escalate. I mean, he's getting a CC behind this as well, so there is some insurance being made as well. Like, he just needs to get some... It's kind of like a semi-all-in attack here from MadiNho. He's denying mining in the natural. This is just kind of wild, man. Like, he doesn't necessarily have to kill Doodle with this. He just has to do damage. He goes the pro ball. Getting on top of these Marines with the pros, pretty good connections. Dragoons ready to pounce on these tanks in a moment's notice. There's nothing to buffer those Dragoons from getting to attack positions, and they will be smacking down both of these tanks in quick succession. Doodle saving the day right now, definitely showing that he was the one born in darkness.
The only thing to say, though, here, Sean, is he lost all of the probes, so he's going to have to make sure he gets on it and get on there quick. I mean, MadiNho definitely hurting from that attack. His CC is late. Maybe he'll take damage here, but
Doodle has an observer already. He could do it.
Yeah, he could win here. Oh, that tank in a good spot.
That isn't a very annoying spot. I mean, he can try and get it from the low ground. It's just very hard to actually, get the guaranteed kill on that.
All right. Oh my goodness, he finishes it.
If he traps the Dragoons, he could trap these Dragoons with the SCVs as well. Doodle needs to get these Dragoons to safety right now. Does manage to do so. There's an opportunity there for MadiNho to get this round on those, and that would have been really problematic. So far, though, I would say this game is definitely still Doodle favored. He lost a lot of probes, but honestly, with that many tanks going down, how late this CC was, I would say it's pretty even economically speaking, actually.
Yeah, I actually I think that Doodle does have a bit of a lead here, just in terms of the workers and supply, even though he lost them all because he's been producing out of the 2 Nexus the whole time. I wonder if Doodle will try to go for a bust here, Sean, right? Like, 1 factory 2, there's 3 tanks and a vulture versus a bunch of dragoons, 2 zealots, and a reaver. He might just be able to win the game, and now no vulture. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, the supplies do seem to indicate a pretty sizable Doodle lead, but that's assuming a Bulldog is about to hit him in a moment here. And I don't know if Doodle is going to pull the trigger on that. He has got the shuttle now moving out with some additional Dragoons. There are some pretty well-placed turrets to help buffer against that, but there should be enough room to maneuver. Oh, a safety turret in the back line. I really love that turret from MadiNho. That might save the day against a Bulldog. And now if Doodle does pull the trigger on this, he might be shut down. He sees the bad news that there's quite a lot of turrets to contend with. He's still going to pull the trigger and get on top of this, but the shuttle will go down guaranteed.
Oh my goodness, the Reaper doesn't get out. I don't think there was a Reaper in there.
I don't even know if there was a Reaver in there to begin with, Raz. Yeah, I'm not so sure. But either way, it's not so good for Doodle. Does manage to shut down a tank, and the next expansion stops the mining of the SCVs as well. Maybe forcing a liftoff. But this is actually not too bad for MadiNho, Like, even though the supplies seem to indicate otherwise, I actually felt this game was pretty even. And now Doodle is helping MadiNho stabilize even more.
Yeah, I don't know if it was as even as we're hoping here at this point, considering we're losing the entire Protoss army, but still playable for Doodle.
Yeah, this is definitely more Terran-sided now. I think the game was pretty even back then, and now I think it's really Terran favorite going forward.
Doodle immediately dropping a third, getting another shuttle out, gonna try to get another Reaver. I think MadiNho's thanking him for pushing in here. Yep.
I mean, maybe he's a fan, you know, and he couldn't necessarily send him a bottle of Bacardi, so instead donated him a few units. I mean, that's something, right?
What a good guy.
Nice guy. I told you, a man so nice he named himself twice.
Right, things are a little closer now here in terms of supply. MadiNho going up to 4 factories, looking to really get that production going. Doodle on 4 gates, probably going to go up to 6 to 8 very shortly.
Yeah. I mean, I really like this game state for MadiNho here. I think he's feeling fine. He doesn't even need to do anything. Like, he can just sit back and macro up now. He's going to get some vulture raiding parties out there on the map. Definitely a bare minimum here. Laying down mines and threatening the probe line at the 3rd base, as well as maybe catching something at the rally point. Sometimes Protoss players will be a little bit too greedy and have some zealots there that you can bully. In this case, though, he's going to maybe go on top of these this natural 3rd location. There's only a Reaver here to defend against this. We'll have to back away, but it was an opportunity there to kill some probes. Luckily, Doodle had that Reaver to respond.
Yeah, Reaver was good over there with the nice little SimCity with the pylons, right? So Doodle doing a good job. Going up to take gateways, going to get his macro online.
Yeah, I think
good
Doodle,
play from him.
I think the longer this game goes on, the more even it will get. I mean, Terran's small advantage earlier on will start to diminish unless he can, you know, compound that into some way, shape, or form. It seems like he is just going to sit back and tech up, though, and go for maybe a 2-1 timing attack. He could also stretch this game out to super late and try and go for a 3-3, but that's a lot less meta these days. It's much more likely going to be like a 180 supply, 2-1 timing attack or something crazy like that.
Yeah, right now, Doodle about to really get into his strides with the macro, man. 8 gateways, 3 bases. Kind of hoping that MadiNho wants to push out. I don't know if he plans on it. 4 factories, getting his starports, facility, everything up so that he can get into the next round of upgrades. Probably what I would imagine wants to take a 3rd base here.
Yeah. Well, 4 factories used to indicate Terran aggression, like I'm going to come and push timing you. But honestly, it could just be to, you know, get himself enough metal that he can just take his 3rd and, you know, off 3 bases, power up to 180 supply, and then go once his upgrades have kicked in. As it stands, we can't know for sure, but I have to imagine that's more or less what MadiNho was going for. But look at how many vultures are falling by the wayside to these Reaver Scarabs, though. That's problematic, man. Like, he needs more mines on the field. He needs more active threat of these vultures, challenging the 3rd base to force cannons and things like that to siphon off some potential macro from the Protoss. He's starting to churn out speed lots now. So I definitely don't think the Terran has any kind of push timing. It has to be the 3rd base, right?
I would imagine it's going to be a 3rd base, yeah. Just play into upgrade Terran, right? Yeah, there's 3rd command center. Play into upgrade Terran, take a 4th base too. Doodle, he knows Doodle's not on 4 bases, so he knows Doodle is going to probably be going for a bust, right?
Right.
Oh, here we go. And I'd say that, here we go.
Ooh, lots of
Oh my god, what a mine!
It gets on top of the tanks, though.
Oh my goodness, the Reaver's great shots. Another great shot from Doodle.
This looks pretty good for Doodle, as so many tanks are falling, and a dropship certainly not going to help out at the moment. I mean, this is just pure Goliath tank, which shouldn't be able to hold the line of this few tanks. He is going to lose these Reavers without the mobility of that shuttle, but this is a big win for Doodle, resetting the tank count that much. I mean, that's kind of insane, man.
Yeah, massive attack there from Doodle. Really well done from him. Micro those zealots and the Reavers really well. I mean, gonna hurt MadiNho a ton. Oh, doesn't see the dropship though.
This all stems, in my opinion, from losing that many vultures out on the map. Like, this is the biggest mistake of Terran players, is sacrificing vultures and then getting bowled over by speed loss because you haven't got anything to buffer. Here comes round 2 as well. Doodle just diving on top of these siege tanks that are out of position. MadiNho in a little bit of trouble now. Might have a big fight on his hands just to secure his natural expansion. These tanks will not be in range from the high ground to kill these Dragoons that are now going to start to put some damage onto these SCVs and CC. He might even have to lift off that CC at the rate that things are going, and those SCVs are forcing splash damage onto his workers as well.
Yeah, it looks like Doodle may have done it here, Sean. He's taking a 4th base. He's trying. Oh man, he's gonna get this. Oh,
so close.
Crazy. Don't know what cost it would have been, but we have cannons in all of the bases to make sure the drop doesn't do anything. Ooh, CC got blocked from landing. Doodle taking care of business right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're gonna get some vultures out onto the map here as a tiny little bit of respite for MadiNho to enjoy. Maybe he can snipe some High Templars at the rally point with those or something. He needs to dig deep and find anything. I don't even know how he's going to hold on to this 3rd base with just how many tanks have fallen in this game. 4th base already coming online now for Doodle. That's slow relative to the time, but relative to the game state, that's all he needs to stay in this game and have some insurance policy to work with, so he's not committed to breaking the Terran off this 3-base timing. Here goes MadiNho with a bit of a counterattack. Dropship in the natural with a vulture, 2 vulture and 1 tank to try and get some big snipes on these probes. Doodle's not paying attention right now.
There's a lot of probes that went down right there. MadiNho trying to make it a little crazy.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we've seen at StarCraft a lot of the time. You know, sometimes you just create a ladder out of chaos to be able to climb it. And that might be just what MadiNho needs to stay in this game. Needs to kind of, defend by attacking in some ways to give him the oxygen needed to take this 3rd base finally. But look at how many High Templars there are. There's more than enough to handle a frontal engagement with the Terran, or do a massive dive and attack, or even just do some storm harassment while you've got enough, remaining to challenge the Terran army head on. I mean, the world is Doodle's oyster with his unit composition right now.
Yeah, I think that Doodle eventually is just going to bust these bases with some drops, and here he goes. He's at 155 supply, up almost 50 supply, and he's coming and attacking. MadiNho.
Oh my God! But that's a pretty good storm.
Massive storms, killing the SCVs. Doodle looking like he's going to finish this off right here. Batman himself could not stop Doodle.
He spent all his money on the Bacardi, I think, and now he's not got enough left over for his gadgets, and now he's having a really tough time up against it. He will not be able to secure this 3rd base at the bare minimum. Has to be careful not even just to lose that CC to the face disruption shots of those Dragoons. Does seem like he will save that, fortunately, but I mean, at what cost? Like, he's got the CC alive still, but he needs the base operational. Doodle will slowly eclipse him in this game, just making more and more expansions. 5th base about to go down, potentially another rally point as well in the bottom left, and that's just more and more win conditions stacking up for a Protoss player here.
Yeah, MadiNho pretty much mined out of his main, only has a natural. My fear for him is the speed shuttle with some Templars that could really finish wiping out the rest of his SCVs. Really tough spot here for MadiNho.
Yeah, no, it does seem pretty dire for him, to say the least, man. I'm a little bit worried for him. I just don't know how he's going to hold on to this 3rd base. I mean, there's going to be so many Zealots, like, smashing down on him soon. The only thing you can really hope for is some beautiful mine connections that just eviscerate a whole control group of Zealots, and it's so close to happening. Look how close they were to the mines there just for a second. Not quite in trigger distance though, unfortunately, and now we're going to have a 80 supply advantaged army about to be driven down our throats, and this is going to be a very tough nut to swallow for MadiNho here, as
yeah, this is tough, man. Here we go. Storms going down on the tanks. I mean, MadiNho fighting this as well as he can with what he has, but it doesn't matter at this point. Any trading for Doodle, even that is not in his favor, is still. Oh, there goes the Archon drop.
That's crazy. Look at the Archon. What a baller, man. An Archon gets a tank on the high ground. That usually doesn't happen.
Some storm in there. +2 didn't make. Good game, well played.
MadiNho squeezing out the excuse right
no.
at the end, man. I mean, that's the problem with alcohol. It takes away your long-term planning, and sometimes the future kind of gets away from you when you are that tipsy.
Too many games in between his first, now he's had a couple drinks. So
yeah, if he played all of his games in a row, maybe he'd be okay.
But now Doodle taking his second win, which is massive, to trying to advance through this group, putting himself one step closer to that round of 16. MadiNho falling to 1 and 2, but has a couple more games at hand that he can do so that he can still advance through. So
yeah,
it is still a tight group.
Yeah, he's still got a game against Izu and to play and what have you. So there's still hope here for him. It does look like we're going to be avoiding some of those 2-2 potential results. It depends, though. It could still go that way, depending on how the rest of the games go, especially if Izu is able to take a game off MadiNho. That could definitely be transpiring. I'm curious to see what's going to be happening in this group. We've had a really fun day of it. I believe we've got Doodle versus TerrOr coming up next. And I wonder if it'll help Doodle being able to play 3 games in a row. And now that he's in his groove from playing against MadiNho, I imagine TerrOr won't be too much of a problem for him to handle.
We shall see. TerrOr, once we again have said before, tricky character, very good at mixing up his builds, very good at doing what he needs to do to get wins. So we'll see if Doodle can pull it off against TerrOr in this next matchup. I believe the players may need to ban maps still. I don't know if we have a map selection. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, TerrOr went with allowed Eclipse to get through versus Bonyth and then paid the price. So not sure that that's what he wants at this time.
And he didn't even get gas stolen, which is insanity, but it is what it is. We'll have to see what his game plan is going forward. But I mean, the way he played against Bonyth, like thinking about it, like he took a delayed gas anyway and more or less went for a Mong style bunker expand. So I think he was maybe planning on being gas stolen. So maybe he kind of didn't really think about that. In hindsight, maybe that's what did occur, and he actually kind of expected to be gas stolen there and was going to go bunker expand regardless.
All right. It seems like once again our map is Polestar. We are just having this is the this is the PSL, the Polestar StarLeague right now. It's just nonstop. Nonstop Polestar all day. Ready on Polestar our maps of the day today.
Yeah, man. I mean, with the map geometry, I mean, this is definitely like a sun god worshipper style map, so I mean, maybe a lot of Buddhists in the chat here today are going to be feeling very happy and feeling represented. I'm curious to see where these two players line up. I mean, it is technically TerrOr's weakest matchup, it has to be said, whereas inversely Doodle very comfortable in Protoss versus Terran, to say the least. So I mean, I do feel like like Doodle's namesake, his favorite food is CPL Terrans. I mean, TerrOr's not CPL level, but he is still a Terran, so he's going to be a tasty snack here for Doodle unless he plays out of his mind.
Yeah, not quite CPL level TerrOr. couple steps above for sure. But TerrOr does feel that all the foreigners suck, so he is not afraid. He is getting after it. So I think we're in for a good game here. Doodle showing, he's ready to play. He came ready to play today. So I think it's going to be a good one, man.
Yeah, and typical Terran player, his advice for new players is don't. He knows that like once you commit to this road, there's not much hope for you. That's definitely a Terran thing though, right? Like it's usually Terrans that end up regretting picking that race like 10 years down the line, like, oh god, what did I even get myself into here? That's a very common sentiment of Terran players. But for the Protoss players, for those Chads out there, kind of can chill a little bit and not stress it as much.
Yeah, Terrans, always talking about how hard it is out here.
They're definitely the most vocal of the 3 races and telling you how superior their race is and how hard it is to play, right? They love to remind you of that.
Ready. Well, I think our players are about ready to go. So we'll be starting here.
Yeah.
On lovely Polestar.
We're just waiting for final confirmation from TerrOr that he is indeed ready to play. believe like Doodle is ready. I know we here in the casting booth are ready. TerrOr probably just putting on his favorite jam right now. He does like to have the speakers in the background cranking it out to his favorite tunes. He also likes to like kind of bounce in his chair while he's playing, almost like he's creating a BPM for his macro to follow. TerrOr's just semi-AFK, not telling us that he's ready yet. So we're still just here waiting for the confirmation. Finally got that confirmation. So here we go, guys. Polestar between TerrOr and Doodle. Let's get it started.
All right, and spawning in the top right, it is TerrOr.
Doodle, with a bit of a smile on his face today. In the bottom right corner is the blue Protoss. Let's get it on, man. He's had a really good day so far.
He is playing well. He is getting it done. This win here could secure him his spot as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, this would put him up on the board. I mean, we didn't think so. I mean, we thought maybe this would go a bit of a tiebreak, you know, 2-2 amongst these guys. If he wins here and now, definitely will be setting the pace. And now these other guys will be making sure they don't get eliminated, although it does seem like Izu's currently on the road for that. He's going to have to play out of his mind in these next up-and-coming games to try and tie himself up to or himself.
Yeah, he'll need to take this game and consider himself in the running here, right? So will he feel the pressure? Doodle same exact base? Will we see the same exact play?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, TerrOr doesn't usually go for macro-orientated build orders always, but I guess sometimes the thing about being a cheesy player is sometimes doing something normal is considered cheesy. Like, they expect you to do something so crazy that if you do play standard, that almost becomes crazy, right?
No matter what you do, you're a cheeser.
It'd be like that sometimes, man.
Just
Ooh.
the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, we're going to grab Gasless, but he's going to get scouted first shot. He's going to have to bail out on it.
I mean, this is nuts. Like, Doodle was getting really lucky with his scouts, man.
Yeah. Oh, see, TerrOr having to take that late gas.
Yeah, that's a good feeling. Like, it's not optimal at all. Like, he could go for like a Mong style late delayed gas into CC. But I mean, unless you're really good at that style, it's not technically optimal. And that's going to be careful not to take too much damage from this probe as well. Having one SCV dedicated to chasing this probe is like a bit of a nightmare, because now you're paying 50 minerals a minute just to chase this probe around.
Yep, a little bit, some lag spikes there for our players, but Doodle navigating through with this probe.
Yeah, I mean, we are playing on 16 high. What was it? Yeah, Peru and Canada. It's a little bit of a distance. And Poland, yeah, I've got the freeway connection with the Observer Zero here, of course. And yeah, that's the problem with StarCraft, man. Once you've got like 3 different locations around the globe, you're going to get all kinds of shenanigans in terms of the latency and stutters and what have you.
I think we were having that type of hybrid build you were talking about again.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the probe gets in here from Doodle. He is going to see it.
I mean, that's a big win in terms of information going forward here for Doodle. He also got a little bit of, you know, annoyance with that probe, denying some potential mining for TerrOr. So all things considered, this is going Doodle's way. TerrOr's gonna have to dig deep to squeeze out as much juice out of the orange of this build as he can. Someone like Mong definitely would be able to, but it's still a tall order, right? Like, I mean, like, neither of these players are pro gamer caliber, so getting the perfect min-max execution out of the build order every time is a bit of an ask.
Oh no. Okay, at least we're gonna get this bunker up. All right. Ooh. Never happy as per to seeing that this Terran Command Center is done so early, or has been building so early.
Right. I mean, he can force a bit of a tax bill to be paid as a result, you know, once this range finishes up. It's a little bit more annoying when the bunker is vertical to you because the buildings are wider than they are taller, and it's like a direct line from the edge of the building. It's how the range is calculated, so there's more room for error when the building is vertical to you in terms of lining up that Dragoon. So sometimes you take a few extra shield shots trying to line up those Dragoons to start making the Terran pay their tax.
Yep, always. Oh, right into a starport this time.
Okay. I like this.
Mixing it up.
Yeah, I mean, this might pay off. I mean, like, if most of these Dragoons are at the front, you know, forcing shots onto that bunker, I mean, the last thing he's going to be considering is Dragoons in his main base at 6 minutes 20, right?
Yeah, Doodle scouting bottom left, I guess, looking for a starport.
He's thinking about some kind of craziness, yeah. And this is the thing that some Terran players will do. They'll proxy a factory or proxy a starport and try and be a little bit annoying, but it's more likely to be a proxy factory than a proxy starport, given that the vultures haven't yet been able to get on top of the map. So he's more worried about proxy tech in the way of like a second factory out on the map or something.
Yeah, Doodle may have this observer in Terror's main in time, or at least be able to get the scouting path to Terror's base to see the dropship coming down. That is going to be a bonus for him.
Yeah. I hope he can react to this well, because if you don't have like 2 Dragoons at least in position to deal with that, you can lose so many workers. It's insanity. Reminds me back in the days when Light was playing in the Pro League, like all the Protoss players in Light's team would have really good anti-drop defense and always have Dragoon in their base at like 6-minute mark kind of thing, when all the other Protosses outside of the practice house never did, so they would always just die to Light's drop harass every single time.
All right, let's see what this drop does get done.
Yeah, it's right on schedule. Just about to hit that 6-minute 20 mark as the drop ship's flying in, and there's no Dragoons here to shut this down. So one gonna be unloaded in the natural, the rest going for the main, and all the Dragoons are out of position. Unfortunately, Doodle paying the price a little bit here. It's gonna be such a nightmare securing this, and it's only 2 vultures that have been committed to this attack as well. And this is like the bare minimal commitment for pretty maximum gains here, even shuffling back this vulture for a 4th probe kill in the main.
Yeah, 8 probes all together there. That's a pretty big deal.
For 2 vultures, I would say that's like a bargain, right? That's like you show up to like a shop that's going out of business and it's just a clearance sale.
I see him going up to a couple more factories. He knows he's gotten some probe kills. Maybe he wants to put a little aggression, at least get himself on the map.
Yeah, he's gonna maybe try and poke in there with the observers a little bit and see how many additional factories are being thrown down. The way the turrets are positioned, he can't go all the way in, but at least now this is helping him keep track of the factory count in total. He now knows this is going to be a 5 factory play here from Terra, and he can start to try to optimize against that, although he's definitely going to be up against it in terms of his economy.
I'm sure, I don't know if he wants to put the 2 observers over each other to get over there, but I mean, he can see some of these factories, but a lot of the time, you know, when Terran kind of do this kind of like base layout, like they're hiding factories above. Like you're kind of like, all right, yeah, I know what you're doing, but he should be able, he sees those factories there, so.
Yeah, I mean, you can do what you were talking about, like dive in with both of the observers, one to tank the damage. If you're good with it, can't you also pull back the first observer before it dies and still get the second one in without the other one dying?
It's trying. It's hard. Sometimes the turrets even do a miss shot if it's too far.
All right. Okay. Well, we could see some follow-up harassment. He's going to repair this dropship, which is definitely indicative that he wants to go for some follow-up drop play. Could be a tank with vultures next time rather than just pure vulture. Depends on what his style is. As we saw in that MadiNho game, tanks in siege mode can kill probes just as fast as vultures can, so either or is a good investment here.
I was waiting to see what else went in there, if it was going to be
There might have been a tank in it. He only loaded 2 vultures, right? So it could be a tank in there.
Doodle trying to be annoying, just blocking these vultures, but they're on the map. Doodle playing a little more defensive this game, knowing that there's a dropship out.
Yeah. And TerrOr's flying it all the way around the map, like to the top left corner.
Look at this turret here, Shun.
That's
Trying to catch an observer.
That's insane. Like, because then when he tries to send out the observer to find where the mines are, if he's not paying attention, you might just lose it for free, right? Oh, he gets a mine connection on the Dragoon. That's crazy. I mean, he's already really behind the schedule in terms of like his unit production. So any kills right now for TerrOr is potentially game ending. Vulture's also in the wake of these Dragoons, making the retreat a little bit harder. Does manage to clear this out with the Scarab, and now a Dragoon falling as well. Look at how many tanks are rolling down. He needs like perfect micro. Oh, no. Man, he needs to be careful. Like any more damage for free for Doodle, he's in trouble, right? He needs to play almost perfectly to hold this pressure from TerrOr.
Yeah, did the dropship ever make it in?
It's in the top left corner of the map still. He forgot about it. I think he didn't shift click it. He should have shift clicked it down towards where the 6 o'clock is and then start to go in now while he's distracting Doodle out on the map. That would have been a great 1-2 punch. But unfortunately, he's kind of like, forgot about it and he's too busy macroing or something.
Yeah, well, this is a pretty strong push here from TerrOr, but Doodle is on 6. Gateway's buying time, waiting for probably leg speed to kick in. TerrOr. Oh, the Reaver didn't fire.
Oh man, this is rough. I mean, if leg speed's what was kicking in, like this would be a way of batting back this push since there's not that many vultures to screen. But with slow Zealots and more or less purely Dragoon, without perfect Reaver micro, eventually it's a ticking time bomb for the Protoss. Like he has to wait for leg enhancements to kick in before he can actually challenge this army efficiently.
Yeah, he might be able to break if he just... Oh my god, that siege tank.
What? I mean, he must have watched a lot of light games. This is exactly how players like light play. They find these tiny little angles of their tank, getting it right up into your grills, just barely in range of the probe line, and not really committing many tanks.
Oh,
not
no!
The mines! Not the Reavers!
No!
He loses one! That was so close. Now TerrOr starting to force the issue. There's just one more Reaver. Finally, he's starting to go. Here comes the Zealots, though. Still no speed upgraded, so even if there's not many vultures to clean these up, it might not matter. The tanks are well spread as well, but there's a massive rain of Dragoons shooting down on top of these tanks. He might still be able to clear these tank lines. Reaver helping out as well. He will eventually break through this, but he has lost a lot of economy as well.
Yeah, he's pushing forward. I mean, he needs to reinforce now with these Zealots so he can clear the rest of these remaining tanks before the more vultures come, because oh my goodness, TerrOr actually holds here. We got 3 tanks win the way back. There's no cannon over here. TerrOr looking like he is pulling ahead big time in this game.
Yeah. Despite the lag, TerrOr is currently tearing it up. Definitely enjoying a very comfortable lead. Doodle trying to drop on top of these tanks, but he's taking some shots from those long bolt missiles of the turrets in the meantime. Shuttle now on half HP. Here comes another vulture drop. That's really annoying because there's only the Zealots can come in and defend against that. Now he's distracting at the 3rd, forcing a retreat on those probes and getting some vultures in the main base. TerrOr is pulling Doodle apart right now.
Yeah, TerrOr doing a really, really good job of just harassing in multiple spots, hitting different places. Oh, Doodle hasn't noticed.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's brutal. He's going to lose so many of these probes if he doesn't pay attention. He will eventually react to this, but he's distracted elsewhere right now. He's got tunnel vision on holding this attack and currently missing things happening in the main base. He's just now noticed, but I think that's a little bit too late. He's taken so many losses to this vulture. Even this cannon finishing up at the natural 3rd won't save him against this many vultures. He could get him right on top of them and still kill more and more probes. But that's an opportunity here for Doodles maybe bust out. The vultures aren't defending the tanks, then the Zealots can maybe get on top of these siege tank line back here and break up. It's not going to be enough. Doodle just taps out. I think he's a little bit tilted in that game. Kind of understandably, though. I mean, TerrOr was getting the better of him, right?
Yeah, a little bit of a, laggy issue trying to shoot some of your Reaver shots, making it harder. Just kind of getting pulled apart, noticing. He probably looked in his main and saw he had no probes, so he's probably like, oh, it's over. Probably really was the nail in the coffin, but TerrOr gives himself a win So that'll put him at 2-1. So yeah, there's some potential here for another 2-2-2-2 tie.
I think so. I mean, yeah, now that Doodle has fallen by the wayside in that game, now we are lined up for that again. If Izu beats MadiNho, which is coming up next, that's going to be crazy. Like, we're going to have at least multiple players potentially could end up with 2-2. Kind of crazy to think about this is actually going to be occurring. I wonder how many tiebreakers we're going to have in BSL with this round robin format. It's certainly a probability.
Yeah, definitely a chance here, but we'll see if Izu can take this game from MadiNho to give us that. Well, even if MadiNho wins, we could have a 2-2-2-2
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah.
Now, TVZ for MadiNho, very big fan of mech. When him and I cast together, he told me, why make a Marine, man, when you can make a Goliath, you know?
Nice. I mean,
So,
I like watching mech games.
so usually he plays mech, very, very solid mech player. So he very, very good. He likes like these 5-6 back Goliath, just massive amounts pushing through, like very strong. So I believe it was Izu. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe it was Izu who struggled against mech in the other group stage.
Well, I can tell you most Zergs are not comfortable playing against mech. Even if you understand the game theory inside and out, the actual execution of playing against mech is either not fun or just so frustrating no matter what. So even if you know what to do, it's certainly not an easy feat. You kind of need to be in the driving seat to make it a comfortable situation where you get a kind of early advantage and you can kind of compound that as the game goes on and make it an easier win condition for yourself. But if it's a back and forth game and the Terran's able to keep expanding, it becomes a really frustrating, and the amount of execution required to beat a mech without risking suiciding your army becomes problematic to say the least.
Yeah, and I feel like for Zerg, you're always just, not that you're not against bio, but you're one bad engagement away from just getting absolutely melted by, especially when it ends up being like Hydra mixed in there. Like, you're just one bad fight away from your whole army being melted.
Well, I mean, the thing with this matchup is in a bio game, it's two glass cannons trying to shatter each other. So it can kind of keep swinging back and forth with the pendulum. But when it's mech, one bad engagement where all of your army doesn't quite synchronize and your Hydras are kind of, not hitting all at the same time from all of the angles. And suddenly you've just lost the fight and potentially the game from just one bad engagement, exactly like you said.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. Our map is actually Metro, so Metropolis. So it's going to be really the first game today on
Yeah,
Metropolis. Yeah, so we're
it
getting
is.
a little bit of a mix-up.
Nice. I
So
like this map.
yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, pretty close rush distances
Right. Well,
will be
it also
interesting.
it depends on when you spawn as well. Like sometimes you're expanding towards your opponent relative to the spawn location, so it doesn't always feel nice depending on where you spawn. But this is a pretty comfortable map for Terran. Like this is almost a 6-4 map for Terran.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, cliffs, space behind for turrets, but Muta can get in and do their thing, and as Muta do.
Yeah.
Always difficult, always tough, to deal with.
I mean,
Um,
you can go for Valkyries on this map as well. You could do like a mech build with Valkyries. So you could do like a 1-1-1 into Valkyries into mech, or you could go straight into like a 5-6 factory Goliath, like you say. I don't know though. He doesn't necessarily need to do anything fancy on this map. This is such a Terran-sided map that as long as he does like a middle of the road kind of mech style, he's going to be fine no matter what.
yeah, I think he usually plays it pretty standard, so there are bases available. Feel like you can kind of protect your chokes as Terran here from major like ground forces. So I think mech is never a bad choice, especially when you're as good as MadiNho is.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's got one of the widest range of experiences we've got in BSL, just primarily because he's a 2v2 specialist. Like his ability to figure out what he needs to do in any situation, and his ability to control on different fronts and keep track of all the craziness and chaos is kind of second nature to him at this point. If he's got a few shots in him and he's not feeling any nerves and able to play to the maximum of his caliber, you better beware. He's probably coming for you.
Yeah, like I said, if my memory serves me right, Izu did struggle, I believe, in the group stage. So maybe he's practiced that and is prepared for it, knowing that MadiNho does play mech. So hopefully he's prepped it himself as he moves into this stage here to play against someone like MadiNho.
Yeah. Okay, it seems
All
like
right.
because MadiNho is not around, we're going to go for a little bit of a short break here, guys. So run to the bathroom, grab another brewski, whatever you got to do. Be back here in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
And we're back. We have two more matchups to see where our players will be seated before the group draw. Very, very close within our bracket here in Group D. Next up, let's see if Izu can put a win on the board. He is up against MadiNho on Metro.
I hope he can, Raz. I want to see that Zerg race represented well. I want at least one win from Izu in this last 2 games of the evening. Let's see if he can make it happen. I think both players are ready. We'll be starting here in just a second. And we get to see Metropolis, finally a break from the mold right now. No more Radiant or Polestar. A little bit of a different tile set finally coming out. And this map is definitely interesting.
Yeah, this is a fun map. I'm excited to see what happens here. Like I said, I know MadiNho really does like the mech, so I think that's what we're going to see, and I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see how Izu reacts. We're going to go with Muta, Mass Muta player. We're going to switch into Hydra right away. What will we do?
Let's find out. It's Izu versus MadiNho on Metropolis. Let's get it, guys.
All right, and spawning in the top left, it is Izu.
His opponent in the bottom left, in the blue Terran trunks, it's MadiNho.
I didn't know that MadiNho, didn't wear a hat all the time, so we see no hat this time.
Yeah.
No mask.
Hat. Oh, he had a tick in his eye the whole night. It's telling me to learn chess. Okay.
Must be some inside jokes going on between these two players.
Yeah, I think these two are known to banter back and forth at least a little bit.
Well, they play a lot of 2v2 together.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these two guys banter a bit, yeah. So you might be seeing some tech shenanigans out of them.
Dino looking like he wants to possibly make like a little wall in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this could be some craziness as well. Like, there's no reason he has to play mech, right? He could just do like a 2-port Wraith or something insane.
He could do 2-port Wraith was very popular in ASL this season on this map.
Yeah, it's a good map for it. Very good map for it. The Overlord Scout is on the correct trajectory, though, so might be able to sniff out any possible shenanigans. You have to be careful about where you exactly align the Overlord going into the main base of the Terran. You don't want to go so deep that a 10 racks will just kill the Overlord for free. But he might be able to sniff out roughly what's coming from MadiNho here.
Yeah, I'm sure. And we have a very standard 12 hatch, 11 pool here from Izu.
And a very quick gas, so he's not going to be optimizing for lava and economy with a 2.5 hatch. Seems like a very straight up 2 hatch lair build, prioritizing his tech timings rather than his economy.
Yeah, this is a pretty difficult scouting pattern, huh? Like if you dip in here to see with your Overlord what's going on, and next thing you know, you're caught by a Marine, right? Like this is going to be very close.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if it's a 10 racks as well, or an 8 racks, like, that Marine is out a few beats quicker. So there's even more chance of the Overlord dying here. So you kind of need to dip in a little bit to check the gas and then quickly back away again. But a 10 racks can actually punish that. So he's already playing with fire right now.
He sees the gas, sees Supply Depot, so he knows to run away. Not going to lose that Overlord.
He's kind of lucky that this isn't a straight-up bio play from MadiNho. Because if it was like a 10 racks or something, he could have potentially lost that Overlord for free, and that would have been a bit of a nightmare. As it stands, though, just dipping the toe into the pool, sees the gas and pulls out. SCV also scouting correctly and identifying the fast 2-hatch lair play. So nothing too crazy from either side, but we do suspect some kind of mech variation from MadiNho here. He's only got 1 on gas, so it's not going to be a 2-port Wraith.
Okay, MadiNho kind of sticking to his bread and butter. The just straight mech into Goliath play. Izu making a sunken as he should.
A bit of a naked Marine move out here. This isn't really to accomplish much. Maybe to scare the Zerg into making a safety sunken or something. You're probably not really planning on doing any damage with this. I mean, 4 Marines can beat 4 Lings if you micro well. But this is really just to keep the Zerg honest and make sure they don't get away with only making 1 pair of Lings, you know?
I wonder if he'll send the Marines in to take some sunken damage and sneak the Vulture in.
You can do that. I don't necessarily like doing that. It's better just do that with like one singular marine or something and not commit all 4 to doing so. You'd probably be better off just doing a vulture run by getting like 3 vultures out and going in that way rather than trying something like that. It is cute, but it's not necessarily great.
All right, see you, Zerglings.
Yeah, getting a couple of Zergling kills for free. Nothing too crazy though. Helps you squeeze out an extra drone early on and keep droning out.
Could that be speed there?
I was wondering if he's going to do a 3 vulture speed run by or something, which is more likely, I think, to be coming down here. I think it is going to be that the 3 vulture run by of speed would be really good here.
Could be devastating.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say he needs to hide this second vulture though. He can't show the second vulture.
And Izu already taking top right, so everything on time. Oop.
I think it's just out of the range. That's really well positioned by MadiNho, right on the edge of the overlord.
We have Muta on the way.
Yeah, but you just wait for the mutas to come out onto the map, and then the vultures slip in when the mutas are already on the way, and they got to turn around, and then the vultures are basically your anti-air at that point because they have to run home to defend.
5 vultures. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's insane. But yeah, that's the game plan: is wait for the mutas to come across the map, and then send in the vultures, and then it forces the mutas to turn around. That's the idea. With good micro, though, Izu might be able to kill the turret timings and put on some counter damage while trying to body block and clear up at home with 1 or 2 mutas. Could get really crazy really quickly this game.
Marines are stalling. Oh no. All 5 vultures are in.
Yeah, I mean, you can even target down lava at this point after killing the drones. So the world is your oyster for the vultures right now. But he might actually better come down into natural as well and do more and more damage, target firing down all these drones. As you can see, the mutalists are turning around to come home to defend against this, despite not necessarily needing to do so now that the Sunken is being utilized in killing these off. He would have been better off just killing some SCVs over on MadiNho's side of the map, but he couldn't handle the multitask, and MadiNho has a turret underneath that engineering bay as well, making it really annoying for Izu to find any kind of counter damage despite having a low SCV count.
Yeah, we're down to what, 8 drones, 9 drones. We made, I think, like 3 or 4 more, but not.
That's pretty rough.
Great for Izu, but we do have 10 Muta. Could this be enough to kill MadiNho right here?
Well, he's got enough to target down SCVs 1 at a time. With 7+, we'll start one-shotting his SCV. So he's finding some damage and doesn't lose any mutas. Needs to swing down into natural expansion, maybe kill another 2 or 3 SCVs. But with these turrets underneath the floating buildings, it's very hard to deal with this. You kind of have to only target the SCVs. And the longbolt missiles are going to make you pay a hefty price for each SCV you do kill. So this is still favoring MadiNho despite losing that many SCVs.
Yeah, I mean, he killed so many drones, right? And he's gonna do it again. If he were to find top right, I mean, that would just be absolute devastation for MadiNho.
Yeah, I mean, the vultures are sharking out onto the map now. They'll either go for another run by or try and check around the map. Just like he's going for the run by option here. He could also split off one of these vultures to check around the map for expansions. That'd be a good idea.
Exactly what he's doing, Sean.
Yeah, that's exactly what he should be doing here, Raz. And this is more than enough damage to secure a good win condition. And just forcing the mutas to chase around your vultures out on the map is good indirect damage as well. If there wasn't any eggs morphing, he'd be able to target down lava and be an absolute thorn in Izu's side. Already doing a great job of doing exactly that. And currently Izu is on cleanup mode. Losing more drones as they pop out as well is absolute insanity. The amount of value these vultures have gotten is almost insurmountable for Izu now.
Yeah, his economy is just shattered. If he were to find top right, that really would be the nail in the coffin. But I don't know how Izu plays into a mid and late game here. Oh no, he doesn't see that one vulture, Sean. That's a problem.
He's gonna kill some more drones, Raz. I mean, he's gonna swing into the main base. I mean, there's not that many turrets here. Maybe he can get a lot of crazy damage done. The Goliaths are currently out of position. He might get, 5 or 6 SCVs, more or less for free. It's still not going to be enough to make up the deficit. So even after he kills these SCVs and makes his way out of there, even after losing only one Mutalisk for it, it's still not enough damage to put himself into a good position. There's 3 drones going down to that Vulture additionally. That's absolutely insane. The amount of drones lost in this game. He's got a Sunken up here in the bottom right. So,
he's
right,
found
so,
it.
yeah, but at least it won't die for free. Like, he's got a Sunken there to kind of buy himself some breathing room. He's mining on it currently still. That one Vulture can't just clear up that entire drone line itself. So there's a tiny bit of lifeline here for Izu, but he needs to go on some crazy counter damage. Like, as soon as these Goliaths are out, he needs to punish the Terran, get in there and kill crazy amounts of SCVs and sandbag the Goliaths with Sunken Colonies. And maybe he can find a win condition if he makes like enough Sunkens to hold against the Goliaths while they ravage the SCVs. But I think MadiNho will smell that sort of eventuality, so he won't actually push out.
A lot of good eco damage being done here by Izu. Got a whole bunch of SCVs there.
If he just keeps that up, and every time the Terran player tries to move out, he swings in and kills a bunch of those SCVs while making Sunkens back at home, he can technically make this work. It's just really hard. Like, he's still got like a very low position. Yeah, no, trust me, it's really bad for him. But there is technically a world where the stars could align for an Izu victory. So I'm hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best right now for Izu. Expecting the best for MadiNho at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough sell. I mean, look how many turrets are in the main base as well. So the counter damage viability is becoming more and more limited as time goes on.
No.
And one Sunken is not enough.
We should have got Burrow.
Yeah, if he had Burrow, this wouldn't be too bad. But as it stands, it is what it is. Pretty good drill on the Vultures, but it's not good enough. He's already taken significant damage to this.
Yeah, MadiNho just doing what he needs to do here. Loves this mech style. He'll be 1-1 soon. Just kind of cruising his way. Oh my god, he realizes he can run around the back. Now he'll go for another drone.
He shouldn't find it. Luckily, not being taken down any more of those drones. Now Burrow is finally finished. Okay, we have Burrow now. So we've got some scouting circlings out on the map. All is not lost here for Izu, but is it too little too late? He's still struggling to hatch out the necessary drones to be on a decent saturation here. He will definitely be up against it. If it is a pure Goliath style, though, he has the option to make non-stop Mutalisks. It doesn't technically have to transition. He's got that one Flyer Carapace upgrade already. Hopefully he's got +1 attack on the way as well to deal with this timing attack. He's got a Sunken morphing on the ramp, but it's a little bit too slow.
All right, here we go. He's making a stand here, trying to get the Sunken up. Sunkens are so good versus these Goliaths, but it's already taken so much damage, and the Muta are going down. Izu trying to fight, and oh no, Shun. The Sunken doesn't reach. He doesn't care. He's just going for it.
He's just going for it anyway. I mean, there's a little bit of an overextension, but it might not matter. He's got 1-1 upgrades on these Goliaths right now. I don't think there's +1 attack on those Mutas, so the trade is so unfavorite for the Zerg. He's gonna tap out, and MadiNho putting the 2-2 on the boards to equalize alongside Doodle. I mean, that's insanity. I hope Izu can win in this final game against TerrOr. It'd be a shame for him to go out 0-4.
Yeah, this is going to be a big game because now we have 2-2, 2-2, 3-1. TerrOr could secure his spot in the winner side of the bracket by winning this game, which would make it, 3-1 for him and would put MadiNho in 4th and Doodle in 3rd because Doodle beat MadiNho heads up.
And if somehow Izu manages to beat TerrOr, we've got a 3-way tie between Doodle, MadiNho, and TerrOr, all at 2-2 if that does become an eventuality.
Yeah, well, I think it gets settled because TerrOr beat MadiNho and he beat Doodle. So I think he would get the 2nd place spot. And then MadiNho would finish 4th and Doodle would finish 3rd because Doodle beat MadiNho.
That's actually crazy if that does happen, right? When you think about it.
So the 2-2s and how the win plays out. But all of that could be avoided by TerrOr taking this game off Izu. So let's see if Izu can be Disruptor. Unfortunately, he is eliminated already, which is always tough when you have one game left, but you can't make it through.
But he could be getting the last laugh here by throwing a wrench into this group and disrupting the rankings, right? There's still that to play for. There's now no pressure on him in terms of breaking out of the group. He can just try his best to take this game off TerrOr and, you know, kind of play the role of disruptor, like you were saying.
That's right. He could be.
Okay, looks like bans are coming out from Death Valley, and I think it's Deja Vu. Ooh, so we got another new map for the evening. Finally, some new tile sets coming out. Yeah, I like Deja Vu, man. This is going to be a real fun map to play on.
Should be good. Curious to see what TerrOr does. If he's going to pull out something a little bit different, is he going to just continue his style? I mean, he could play anything. If he knows that Izu is not so strong in spec, he could pull out a mech game of his own. Or is he just going to be TerrOr and go for something a little crazy?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Deja Vu is pretty balanced across the board. It's ever so slightly Terran favored, but only by a few percentile points, nowhere near as much as Metropolis is. So this could be a pretty even matchup between these two guys. I'm hoping that Izu can dig deep and play his A game and at least represent the Zerg race as well as he can.
He has that chance.
I really want to see it, man. Oh, it'd be a shame if, like, no Zerg wins today, not a single game. I mean, come on, man. We got to do better than that, right, guys?
Well, he is the only Zerg. There was a better chance when there's 2 Protoss and 2 Terran for them to take some games.
Yeah, I know. It is a bit unfortunate that he's the only guy able to try and put wins on the board, and he's only got 4 attempts at it. Does seem like he's en route to going out 0-4. But, I mean, it's happened to the best of us this tournament. It's really difficult to get wins under your belt against players of this caliber. Both players are already jumping into it. Raz, Deja Vu between TerrOr and Izu. Let's get it on.
All right, and spawning in the bottom right, it is El Champion TerrOr.
In the bottom left, that's the blue Zerg. Currently 0-3 in the group. Can he redeem himself and the hive mind itself? It's Izu. And it's a 5.
Oh. Izu going for it.
We saying like enough. The only way to beat the cheeser is with cheese. And I mean, you know what? He might be right. And we might be having a nice little stuffed crust, the triple cheese pizza of a game to cast here.
Which, oh my goodness. And if TerrOr would have gone for like an 8 racks or something, this would have been crazy, but TerrOr playing pretty standard, it seems like.
So far. There's still time.
Nope,
but yeah,
there it is.
He won't have much opportunity to play cheesy himself once he has to be the one reacting to this regardless what happens. He's kind of lucky that he's not making a forward barracks. But honestly, like, as long as you pull the boys, even if you go for like a wall in or something, 4-pull and 5-pull just doesn't really cut it at high level play anymore. As long as you pull like every single SCV to defend, you can still easily thwart that attack and easily take the macro game. Although this is a 5-pull, not a 4-pull, so the points of transition are still alive for the Zerg. He doesn't have to kill the Terran player with this. After making his first 8 or so Zerglings, he can go back into drones.
This should signal to TerrOr something's up, no, with the drone? Like, why is this drone here already?
Yeah, that's like a 9 scout timing, which indicates some kind of craziness, usually, yeah.
Like, why is this drone here at 145?
Yeah, it's definitely aggressive scout timing. You're thinking like 9-pull speed, or at the very least.
Oh no, TerrOr switched his scouting pattern. He was going bottom right, saw the drone, and thought it came from a top.
He got thrown off, man. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, he still might be okay. I mean, the barracks isn't too far out. You know, he's got time to stabilize against this. The problem is that the Lings will be hitting just as the Marine is about to pop out. So as long as he body blocks with
no!
That's a big deal. Okay, if he body blocks the Marine, maybe he's in trouble. But as long as the Marine, the SCV's slowing down the Lings though. That's barely enough time bought for him to get this Marine to safety. Now he can't surround the Marine anymore. Can instead get that Marine to safety and try and body block these Zerglings, and then eventually get to the chopper with this Marine to that bunker.
Micro from TerrOr just incredible with the SCVs. The bunker gets up.
Yeah, he's done it, man.
Oh my goodness.
He's still making circlings behind this. I mean, he lost the drone. If he didn't lose that scouting drone, he could have sent it back to mine and start making drones and transition, but he's pretty committed after losing that scouting drone.
Oh, he's just making zerglings.
Yeah.
Oh,
if he didn't lose the drone, he could transition, but as it stands, there's no real way of transitioning and making this work anymore.
Here we go. He is just kind of buying time now at this point, right? Oh my god, second back. Is he gonna let him kill the barracks?
I mean, he can just float the barracks, so he shouldn't be able to. You can just float this float this barracks back to safety. At the very bare, the only thing you can really do is deny some. Okay, I mean, he can maybe turn us into a game, but I think losing that scouting drone, it doesn't line up well for him. Like, if somehow that drone doesn't die and he sends it back home to mine, then I think he's got a game plan and he can actually make this work. But as it stands, I think he's too far behind the curve of the game.
Well, TerrOr is going to Rex, so
right.
We're gonna get an expansion up. Maybe we can get expansion SCV down.
If he kills an SCV or two here, like this SCV on the left-hand side of the depot, if he somehow snipes that or something, it would be okay. But with the positioning of the Marines from TerrOr, look at the positioning of the Marines. Like, this is really perfect from TerrOr. Like, he's not leaving anything up to chance.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is going to be the worker count, right? Like, just overall, TerrOr is just producing. I mean, we probably have about 10 drones now, so.
Pretty much, yeah. It's about 10 drones mining. He's going to get his gas now and try and maybe think about either a 2-hatch lurker or 2-hatch muto and try and outplay TerrOr here. It's possible. Very unlikely that he gets on top of the Marines. It'll be okay if he gets some Marine kills, but it doesn't look like it's going to transpire. TerrOr getting the better of the trade. Now he's in trouble. Might even be forced to make sunken colonies behind this, which is absolute nightmare situation for Izu, who's already that far behind on his workers and now is facing a proposition of having to make sunken colonies as well on top of it. That's a bad place to be.
Yeah, we're mining some gas. I mean, TerrOr just doesn't want to go out all the way yet to make sure that he doesn't get like killed by, just mass zergling if he made nothing with zergling. But he's got to be feeling pretty good right now, knowing that he killed all those, and no matter what, he's got to make more Izu or sunken.
I mean, the RNG,
he's gonna need at least what, 2 sunkens, 3 for this many Marines to
bio. Three.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate because the RNG gods are kind of helping Izu out. He has to mine 4 SCVs on the gas. He'd actually be better off just killing his own bunker, so he doesn't have to worry about that. He doesn't need a bunker anymore. He's got an SCV trapped in the back of his base after he made the academy. So there's like a few stars aligning here for Izu to try and make up the deficit. It's just not going to be enough. Again, catching 1 Marine is something, but this is just buying time right now for these 2 sunken colonies to finish up. And he needs a 3rd one on the way as well. 2 will not be enough.
TerrOr just adding a factory, just gonna absolutely end it. No need for an expansion. He's like, no zerglings, all drones, man. We need a 3rd sunken. What are we doing here?
He's gonna die. He's gonna die unless he like pulls all of his drones. Like these he'll kill these sunken walls. Like 2 sunkens is not enough to hold this. Man, he's gonna lose. He's gonna target down the drones, all the sunken. Doesn't really matter what he does. He's in a great position. Just decides to go for the sunken colonies, and he will exactly do that.
GG is called.
Sunken, and GG called from our Zerg player. Izu getting knocked out. 0-4. TerrOr tying things up 2-2, which, as we were talking about, completely changes the flow of things because of who beat who, right?
No, he'll be 3-1, so he'll take 2nd place.
My bad. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he'll be 3-1. So Bonyth will finish in 1st. TerrOr will be in 2nd. Doodle will finish 3rd because he beat MadiNho heads up, and MadiNho will finish in 4th place.
That's a shame that. Yeah, it's a shame that Izu couldn't play Disruptor here and get a win on the board and really throw everything up in the air with the 2-2s, but. Oh, well played to TerrOr and Bonyth. They get to go through to the next round of the 16 in style here. Izu definitely going to be eliminated 0-4. At least that makes you feel better, though, Raz. There's now 2 other players besides yourself that have faced this fate. You know, it happens to the best of them.
That's all I wanted, is to have miserable company with me. You know, that's what I was looking for.
You got 2 drinking buddies at the bare minimum now.
It happens out there. You know, you play the games, you do your best, and it is what it is. So no shame for Izu making it to the round of 20 here in the BSL
Right.
final Pro League. Well done from him. Unfortunately, he's making his exit. Now, Bonyth and TerrOr will go to the winner side of the bracket. Doodle and MadiNho will go to the loser side of the bracket. And don't forget, don't leave when we're done talking here. Don't leave after this game, because I believe Zero is going to do the draw after. So we'll see what that bracket actually looks like.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that lines up. We've taken a long time to get through this round robin format, right? And get all these weeks cleared up. But we finally done it, guys. We're taking a look now at the results of all of those group stages. You see DeWalt and Ultra smashing out of Group C. And then we've got Crossy and Hawk breaking out, Ziki and Dragon breaking out, Bonyth and TerrOr breaking out. And alongside them in the loser bracket, we've got TT1, HBO, SBX, and JD Conan. Then Striker and Tech, and now joining them, Doodle and MadiNho as well, going through to that loser bracket. All the players in red, Wolfix, DNMex, yourself, Raz, and Izu, all are eliminated from the tournament. That just means you're going to be free for more casting in the future, Raz, I hope, because you're a good caster.
Thanks, man. You too. I hope so. Hopefully, I'll get some more casts if I don't have work. I'll always love to jump on here and cast these games. Wish I was playing, but not the way it worked out for me this time.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to cast you when we get the opportunity to do so. So I hope your work schedule does permit you to join us in the BSL in the casting booth more often. You're definitely a treasure to behold.
Oh, I appreciate that, son. A lot of love out there.
I love you, buddy.
Right.
Always a pleasure to cast with you. And now we're going to be jumping over to the Patreon page to take a big moment of appreciation for some of you guys keeping the lights on. You see those BSL20 goal supporters. They're the one-time donations. People like CRVT doing massive 2K donos to help out, as well as some of these other guys like, Dahlia Yan Ying with a $1370, Jaziri 1180, LML 219, Chaozu at 180, and all you other guys doing these little one-time donos are really important. But now if we scroll down just a little bit, big shout out to Liquid Nazgul and Liquid Steve, from the main sponsor. I forgot to say that right at the start. And now scrolling down to the actual monthly contributors, we got the Wolf of Wall Street himself at $200 a month. That's Andrew. Big shout out to you, my guy. Bombastic General, $100 a month. My Fleeting Dream. Bombastic Colonel, $50 a month. Striker. Bombastic Major, plus, $30 a month. 2 Apocalypse. Bombastic Major, $20 a month. Scheming Gypsy, Chaozu MadiNho, Steve Robertson, KJ, LML, and Nicholas Schuler. And Bombastic Captain, plus, $15 a month. Pirozan and Scott Walfield. Big shout out to all of you guys and many more that help keep the lights on here at the BSL. One of the best places to be in the foreigner scene, and it's always a treat to come here and cast for you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for everyone in that list. I mean, you're keeping the Broodwar scene alive, especially for us foreign players. We really appreciate it. We love these casts. We love this tournament. Everyone does such a good job. Shun, thank you so much today for casting with me. It's always a pleasure. Zero, thanks for being a fantastic host and observer. But do not leave, because Zero himself will be coming back here to make sure he does that group draw.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. That group draw coming up here in just a few moments. But a big shout out to you guys for being here, supporting us all this time. We really appreciate everyone in the StarCraft scene. It's really, really a pleasure to be here, especially with someone in the casting booth such as yourself, Raz. Always a real treat. I've been Jun. With me, Raz. Hopefully, we'll be able to join you again in the future weeks of BSL for some more great games. Don't go anywhere, though, because we've got that draw coming up next.
Okie dokie, welcome guys. Let me see if the Latam viewers and Russian viewers can hear me. They can hear me now, so unfortunately my sister went to sleep, so we're gonna do the magical drawing called the spin of wheel, and we will spin the wheel, cross Bonyth, Dewold and Dragon, who will be placed in the winner bracket over here. Those are the basket. Those were the players who took the spot in the first and second spot in the groups, and third and fourth spot in the groups. So very interesting. I'm very interested how it will look like. So let's, without further ado, we have Crossy, Canadian Zerg player, Dragon, Canadian Protoss player, Dewold, Russian Protoss player, and Bonyth, Polish Protoss player in the first seed basket. So let's divide those players and see who will be in which part of the bracket. We will have the rule that players can't play the player from the group stage again, so in case of that we will make a red row, but yeah, let's spin the wheel. It's Dragon going over here. Now we have Bonyth, Dewold, and Crossy. Let's see that. Unfortunately, it's so late that my sister needed to go to sleep. But oh my god, I can see it's going on the edge. Crossy. So we know that Bonyth and Dewold will be in the same part of the bracket. Seems like Dewold, I guess. Congratulations to him. I guess this is going to be Bonyth. Let's give him one more spin. Sorry guys, I'm so sweated, but it's so hot over here with 2 computers, 6 monitors. It's getting very hot, and I didn't wake up or like stand up for the entire cast yet, so yeah, I have still the open window, but life is brutal. Okay, so that means that we have Hawk Ziki TerrOr Ultra now. So Hawk, Ziki, TerrOr, and Ultra, they've been through their group stages. Very successfully. I would say that Ziki a little bit of a surprise, that he lost some games, but he won in the tiebreaker. It ended up that Striker and Tech and Ziki finished the tiebreaker, and so Striker won with Tech and Ziki won with Striker. So that was at least moral victory, additional moral victory, but Striker had a third spot because of that. Let me see, guys. Okay, let's see. Let's see who will play against Mr. Dragon. Let me just open myself the groups so I will see who can't play against Mr. Dragon. So we can't have Dragon versus Ziki, but let's check it out. Dragon versus Hawk. Now Crossy. Crossy can't play without Hawk, so it can be all three opponents for Mr. Crossy. Crossy versus Ultra. Very interesting. And Ziki and TerrOr, they will both divide the Protoss between each other. So very good draw, I would say, because no mirror matchups. TerrOr versus the world, it's possible, and the only option, I guess. And Bonyth versus Ziki. Let's give Ziki a spin. So 2 versus 2 allies get a free spins, but they will play against each other in the first round. I would say that they are both extremely strong, but they are both. We can see that they are both a little bit rusty. They are both not as active. But yeah, this is the winner bracket. So Dragon Hawk, Cross Ultra, Deworld TerrOr, Boneziki. And yeah, very interesting. But now we will go to the loser bracket draw. Who will be the lucky guys? SPX Striker, TT1 Doodle. SPX Striker, TT1 Doodle. So without further ado, let's spin the wheel and see how it will resolve. SPX. Who will be the second lucky guy in the loser bracket? It seems like Mr. Payam Baggins. TT1. And Doodle. Let's see if the free spin will be a lucky spin. Striker over here. Let's see who will be the opponents of our gentlemans. JD Conan, Tech, HBO, and MadiNho. Let me see on the chat. Yeah, this is real sauna over here. I guess it's around, I don't know, 27 degrees. Like my shirt is all like, you don't want to hug me now. Okie dokie. So what we can't have SPX versus JD Conan because they played against each other in the group. But let's see who will be the opponent of Mr. SPX. Nope. Again. Seems like Tech. Because as you can see, where do I have it? It's this one. So as you can see over here, we had JD Conan and SPX in the same group. So that's why they couldn't play against each other. That's why we will have Tech jumping in and will show his strength to Mr. SPX. So TT1 can't play against HBO. So it's either be MadiNho or JD Conan. And who will that be? JD Conan playing against TT1. Very interesting. So now Doodle can't play against MadiNho. So I guess it will have to be Doodle versus HBO and Striker versus MadiNho. Right? Because we can't have Doodle play against MadiNho. That's correct. Double checking. So this is the bracket, guys. This is how it looks like. This is how it will look like. So we will have Hawk. Maybe let me move this somewhere like that so you will see it better. Dragon Hawk Cross Ultra, DeWalt TerrOr, Bonyth, SPX Tech, TT1, JD Conan, Doodle, HBO, and Striker MadiNho. MadiNho is not a random, but a Terran. It's from 2 versus 2 database, but yeah, let me see that, guys. Let me see. And winner of SPX Tech will play against loser of Bonyth. Winner of TT1 JD Conan will play against loser of DeWalt TerrOr. Winner of Doodle HBO will play against loser of Crossy Ultra. And winner of Striker MadiNho will play against loser of Dragon Hawk. So quite interesting. I am really happy with this bracket. This is the first time we did it after excluding the Chinese players from the BSL. And we have the new era for foreigner players. Let's hope that we will be able to keep going. I encourage you all, guys, to support the goal for BSL21 because it's all about being how to say it, regular, or and about keeping the motivation for the players going. This is the new era. We are getting to know you guys with the new players, giving you the shoutouts with the new names which you didn't hear earlier. We have more spots in BSL, plus we don't have Chinese guys, so you've seen plenty of new names, but those guys are making the brand for themselves. Like, for example, Mr. HBO advancing to a round of 16, you will definitely be more aware of who what he is capable of. But yeah, that's it for today. On Tuesday and Thursday we will have GoSulik casts. So this is the bracket of GoSulik, if I am correct. Where are the brackets? This is the question. I guess I lost the brackets, but those are the brackets. So we have Rasowy Hermon. Maybe I have them somewhere. Nope. Anyway, Rasowy Hermon, Rancor Bonbon, Kyrie Klaus, Mav Tuzan, and they will play against Hayek, Eternum, Semih, and Kavapur in the quarterfinals. This is just a winner. Winner bracket, no loser bracket involved. Let me see if I can fix the bracket. Maybe I don't know if I can do it. guess it should be something like this. So yeah, Gosu League, and on Friday we will have BSL2 versus 2 going 9 p.m. Bonyth, Ziki, Kenzie, Hydra Maldito, Teres, Gargoyle, Kuzin, Canovas, and some loser bracket games. So very cool teams. Each Friday, 9 p.m. we have BSL2 versus 2. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Gosu League. Friday, BSL2 versus 2. And on Saturday and Sunday, we will be back with more BSL Pro League action. Okay. Guys, it's so hot. Oh my god, you have no idea. But we did it. Huge thanks to our wonderful casters, Ras and Shan. That's always a pleasure to play with them. Those guys are legends. And I don't know. I guess what's time it is? It is before midnight. Regarding the pool, on BSL Discord, on Group D, most of the people thought that 10 votes were 45% of people thought that Doodle will be eliminated, 9 votes, 41% that Izu will be eliminated, 2 votes for TerrOr and 9%, and 1 vote for Bonyth, 5%. But we have Mr. Izu, unfortunately, for him eliminated, but he showed some strong performance, definitely very good games in round of 32, eliminating StarLeague, who was there in the round of 8 last season, even with the Chinese guys, so very impressive. I guess I need to turn off some of the computers, guys. I'm really appreciating you being here. Please join the Patreon if you can, because this is the best way of supporting. I know that the times are hard, and I understand that some Patreons need to leave, but we are where we are. The number of Patreons is getting a little bit lower nowadays, but I hope that once this new format will kick in and you guys will start loving the foreigner players yet again and have some fans, BSL will be great again at some point. So I still believe, although this is a hard job, so if you like it, feel free to join the Patreon. But this is it for today, guys. I'm really enjoying being with you, but I am also sweated, or I don't know. I am basically wet, and I am not a girl, so I will finish the stream and give you some end credits to appreciate our casters, appreciate our sponsors, and all the people who are helping. Much love. And also wanted to give the shout out to Mr. Sonko, because he was asking, he is having the replays of AIs on his YouTube channel, on his Twitch channel. I think those are looped, or like they are live maybe. So you can watch them on Twitch. He's also supporting us with the RTMP, which we are using to share the feed with the Latino American casters and Russian casters. So huge shout out to Mr. DeWalt, huge shout out to the 3D clan, and who those guys are casting. I believe it's Mr. Kilsen who is casting as well in Russian and in Spanish. Huge shout out to Mr. Oli Patrick and Mr. Yuang. who are casting, and I believe Mr. Baby Magic is also casting in Russian on Good Game Ru, and Oli Patrick and Yuang are casting in Spanish. So yeah, we have, despite not that many viewers on this channel, we have a pretty decent viewership in total in all the languages. So still going strong and still spreading the love about Broodwar. But yeah, this is it for me today, guys. When is winner bracket round 1, 2, 3, 4? So it's we are going to have a next week Dragon, Hawk, Crossy Ultra, and the Doodle, HBO Striker, MadiNho. I will type that down right after the cast. I can also probably do it now, so you guys will be aware how it will be, but we will have to do it this way, and it's going to be okay, I need to copy that and give this browser a chance to shine, and we will have Dragon versus Hawk Cross Ultra on Saturday. And it's going to be which day? It's going to be 7th. So those matches will be there on Saturday, and those matches will be there on Saturday. Maybe also this one we should cast 2 best of. And Sunday. We'll have those matches. Okay, okie dokie. So this is how the schedule look like for next week. It looks a little bit how to say it, not in the order, but this is intentional. So we will have the same players playing against each other. So for example, Dragon Hawk, loser of that, and Dragon and Hawk, loser of that plays against Striker MadiNho. So Striker and MadiNho plays, and immediately we can have the loser of Dragon Hawk to play against winner of Striker MadiNho. So that's the reasoning behind it. Yes, guys. Thank you, Mr. SPX. I am. This is the sauna stream. You are missing Mr. Oyaji. Shoutouts to him. Our sauna protos. But this is it for today, guys. Much love and see you on Tuesday. Much love. Bye bye. Oh, and I want to give the shout out to Mr. Ratti, who increased his Patreon from $5 to $10. We didn't correct it, but I will correct it for next week's.